Hello and welcome to Mediamade, the show in which we, year by year, explore the movies, music, and TV that most invaded our lives. I am your host, Rod, and I don't have a nickname. Nor do I have my co-host, Jess, with me today. In fact, it's a special episode. It's our return podcast, and I'm joined by a very special guest making his triumphant return to the pod. It's
Michael, the physicist. Rules.
Mike is a physicist.
Sort of.
You have your physics degree, don't you?
I have a physics degree, but I don't work in physics.
That's I you know that you are a student of physics.
Student of physics.
Yes. Mike joined us a few years ago, actually, in our previous studio to talk a very special concept album. We talked Rush's 2112. Mike just had this crazy idea. Mike's a listener, by the way.
Yep.
You're a kid. You're one of our kids.
I guess.
But
old kid.
You suggested that we kind of do a deep dive into a concept album, and we're just going to keep it going. So every so often, whenever Mike's in town, we're going to do a deep dive into a classic concept album, because Mike and I are both music fans. I think Michael's definitely more of a music fan than my wife is.
Probably.
And yeah, so we talked 2112, and I think that was sort of both of us agreed to cover that one. And then I said, Mike, suggest a concept album for us to cover next. And you threw out an album from a band that we've talked about before. And I'm going to introduce it in a second. Yeah, why not? I'm going to introduce it now. Released October 28th, 2013, the 8th studio album / rock opera of this progressive metal project. It's The Theory of Everything by Ayreon. Ayreon, they're back. Once again, we talked about Ayreon in our 1995 and 1996 traditional mediamade episodes. Of all the albums released those 2 years, the one I listened to the most from each year was an Ayreon album.
Which albums were they?
The first album, which was just it's like Ayreon, The Final Experiments was 95, and then 96 was their follow up, Actual Fantasy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Mike suggested we cover another Ayreon album because Ayreon is kind of the concept album king.
Yeah.
It's like all they do. Actual Fantasy being the least concept-y of them all, actually. But you suggested their 2013 release, The Theory of Everything. Any particular reason why you wanted to cover this one?
I feel like in the last episode, we had a connected thread. Don't remember it, but this is my first Ayreon album.
No,
this is my first Ayreon album.
Is it?
Yeah,
interesting.
This is the first one I listened to, and I just loved it, and got me hooked. And I got all the rest of their albums after that.
I'm surprised by that because I would have probably tried to tell you about my first Ayreon album, which was The Human Equation, but we were out of high school at that point.
Yeah, I don't remember you ever talking about it beforehand.
I was definitely in college because I remember walking to my last biology class, listening to Ayreon's The Human Equation. Yeah. And that was 2011 or so. But that was my first. So how did you find Ayreon if it wasn't through me?
Back between I think 2010 to 2014, I did a personal best of music each year, and each year I would go through Wikipedia and sort of listen to / download every single album.
Every album released.
Not everyone. The ones that look good and kind of in my genre, and Theory of Everything was one of them on 2013. And I think it made my top 10 songs, The Theory of Everything, the first one.
When Jess and I do this Mediamade stuff and we try to determine what our album is from each year, we look at Wikipedia's list and we just read them off. You went through the extra effort of listening to each one.
Probably it took, I think at some point, 2013 took me 4 months to get through all of them. And so it was middle of the year where I was last year's favorite songs. And so I gave up at some point, ran out of time.
But yeah, I really like Ayreon. When I discovered The Human Equation, I was I got to download all these albums because they, other than a few exceptions, The Theory of Everything included, They have a long-spanning storyline. That like spans the creation of the universe to our modern day and the future, like the dystopian future ahead of us. It's like that. That's the story of Ayreon.
Yeah.
And Jess and I, when we talked about the Final Experiment, their first album, it was sort of like a mix between dystopian sci-fi and medieval fantasy.
Yeah. I think it's the only one I know the actual story of, besides Theory of Everything also. I think all the other ones are like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny. Like, you and I, we're D&D nerds. We love comic book. I don't know about comic books, but like superhero cartoons and sci-fi. Like, you're a Star Trek fan, right?
Yeah, original.
And Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, all that stuff. So like Ayreon just speaks to the nerd in all of us.
It's the nerd music.
It is nerd music. And the mastermind behind these albums, his name is Arjen Lucassen. He is also an admitted sci-fi nerd. He like fell in love with Star Trek, and it brings him comfort in tough times. But yeah, The Theory of Everything, 2013, their 8th studio album, and their first Arjen's first Ayreon. His name is Arjen, but Arjen.
It's like Arej.
J, and I guess in Dutch the J is the yeah.
Yeah.
So Arjen is the leader of Ayreon.
Mm-hmm.
But Arjen had taken a break from Ayreon for a while. He released. It's called 01 is the name of the album. Everyone refers to it as 01, but it's a series of it's a binary code.
Okay, yeah, I've listened to that album.
Yeah, but everyone calls it 01. He took a break because 01 was sort of like the culmination of the big Ayreon story up to that point.
Mm-hmm.
It was like kind of a recap of everything that had happened. So he's like, I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to do some solo work, and Theory of Everything came out as a bit of a surprise. Like, oh, it's Ayreon again. It's back.
For me, it was the first. So.
But yeah, I should actually just get into the kind of the history of this before, instead of just, describing it in overview.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go super in depth because we did do this. So if you want to go back and listen to our 95 and 96 music episodes, do that. But a bit of a recap on those 2 episodes. Dutch singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist Arjen Anthony Lucassen got his start in the music industry as a heavy metal guitarist in the 1980s, playing with bands like Bodine and Vengeance, which I guess are respected Dutch metal bands in the 80s.
Have you listened to them before?
It's like kind of straight heavy metal.
Oh, okay.
I think I listened to a little bit of it, but I wasn't blown away.
Mm-hmm.
After launching a solo career in the early 90s under the name Anthony, I believe also Iron Anthony was used, Lucassen experienced a series of professional and personal setbacks. To quote him, quote, "It was the period in my life when my girlfriend broke up with me, Vengeance broke up, and I had no more record deal. So it was a horrible time." This all set the stage for a make it or break it moment for Lucassen, who decided to produce an uncompromising progressive metal rock opera project titled Ayreon, The Final Experiment. Because that's what you do when you have nothing else to lose. I'm going to indulge myself in my, deepest passions and make something that is seems like commercial kryptonite.
Yeah, it depends on what audience you're trying to reach.
And luckily for him, it worked out.
Yeah.
Inspired by progressive rock albums from the 60s and 70s and rock operas like Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar and The Who's Tommy. Oh, and Pink Floyd's The Wall, of course.
Yeah.
The Final Experiment features a cast of guest vocalists and musicians to tell the story of a blind minstrel in the Middle Ages named Ayreon, who receives apocalyptic visions from the future.
Pretty straightforward. I think, isn't it also music saves the
yeah,
day or something?
He hears music in his head, plays it, and the people are, they think he's some kind of witch or something.
Mm-hmm.
He's the devil. As I kind of alluded to, The Final Experiment proved a surprise financial and critical success in Lucassen's native Holland and throughout Europe, where rock and metal publications celebrated it as one of the best albums of the year, which is crazy. So
yeah,
I feel like
pretty
that
amazing.
This is going to be like a theme maybe in these concept album spotlights that we do. A lot of bands, they turn to the concept album when they have nothing left to lose. It's we're either going to succeed now or we'll never make it. So let's just go all out and do what we want. And Rush did it with 2112. Dream Theater's done it at least once, with their Scenes from a Memory album. And Ayreon did it here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of any other concept albums that falls in that. I mean, Pink Floyd, they do. That's kind of seems mainly like big concept album band.
Yeah. I wonder how they were doing when Dark Side of the Moon came out, which I would consider their first true concept album. It's not a story, but it's definitely a concept album.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I think they're probably in their best place at that moment because of I think the culmination of David Gilmour and Roger Waters working together.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that'll be an album in the future that we cover. Thus, in the wake of that success, Lucassen would, in the subsequent 13 years, expand the Ayreon mythos with a series of follow-up metal operas, including 1996's Actual Fantasy, 1998's Into the Electric Castle, 2000's Universal Migrator, Parts 1 and 2, 2004's The Human Equation, and 2008's 01. Of those, do you have a favorite or one that you connected with the most?
I mean, The Human Equation is probably the Nick's favorite Ayreon album.
It's also the most grounded.
Yeah.
I mentioned this when we talked Ayreon before, but if The Human Equation follows a man who falls into a coma and has confrontations with the emotions in his head, and they reveal it's sort of a mystery. Well, how did he get in this position? What happened to him? He was in a car accident. How did that happen? What was his emotional state like? What's his home life? What's his childhood like? And it's human, very human character study.
Yeah.
And all the emotions is played by a different singer. It's cool.
I didn't even notice that. Each emotion has their own
singer. Yeah.
Okay.
Like the guy from Opeth is Fear, and Devin Townsend is Rage.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. All Ayreon releases up to that point told stories within a shared continuity, with common elements including science fiction and fantasy-inspired settings, environmentalist, techno-futurist, and anti-war themes, and the use of guest vocalists used to portray various characters, which we've talked about. However, by the release of 01, Lucassen found the concept too unwieldy, especially for new listeners, so he decided to bring the ongoing story to a close.
Is it still done?
No, he's gone back. I believe his follow-up to this album is The Source in 2015 or 16.
Yeah.
And that goes back to... And I think that's like a prequel.
Yeah.
It's like a prequel to the prequel.
That's funny.
I believe I actually have a clip on this. So I have... I was able to find the making of featurette that was included in the DVD from the special edition of The Theory of Everything. So I have some clips from that. So
I should have just given you my... I have that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have the special full DVD.
Okay. Well, I found it. I have it. I was able to pull some clips from it. Ayreon, by the way, one of the best... He documents... He self-documents everything.
Yeah.
And he has the best digital footprint on the internet for his band.
Yeah.
It's hard sometimes to do research on this stuff. He's so good about it. I really appreciate Ayreon Lucassen's dedication to the cause.
Yeah.
But here he is from that DVD.
The whole Forever Planet Y story, on previous Ayreon albums was really getting quite complicated in the end, and even for me. So yeah, I didn't want to alienate the listeners, and at some point I thought it was maybe a bit arrogant to assume that everyone knew what the hell I was talking about. So I wrapped up the story on 01 and on the track The Memory Remains on the Timeline album. And I left my beloved space and aliens behind. Well, for now anyway. So yeah, this time I wanted to focus on real world situations here on Earth in this time. And because I love science and I love physics, this was a natural way to go.
There you go. A man after Michael's own heart.
Yeah. Music, science, physics, cheese.
Yeah, corn.
Corn.
A lot of cheese, a lot of corn on Ayreon's album. But I think that's just inherent in progressive rock in general. It's like progressive rock is one part pretension and one part corny.
Yes.
Corniness. Following a brief hiatus from the Ayreon project, during which he would participate in several solo and side projects, Lucassen in 2012 announced on his YouTube channel that he was writing and composing a new Ayreon album due out in 2013. And it was kind of a cute video, by the way. If you go back and look at it, it's filmed from the perspective of his partner, who like is making him breakfast every morning, and like every time she goes to his door to the studio, she opens it up and he's playing something different. So she walks in, he's playing his electric guitar. She goes, "Oh, it must be a metal album." And the next day she comes in and he's playing his Moog synthesizer. "Oh, is it a prog album?" And then she comes back and he's playing like something goofy. I don't know if it was like a violin or something. I can't remember. But she goes, "Oh, what is he doing in there?" And finally they reveal that it's a new Ayreon album.
That's funny.
In contrast to previous Ayreon works, Lucassen wrote the music for this new album spontaneously and in chronological order as it appears on the album. So this album is mostly jam. Like he just jammed his way through it.
Yeah.
And then wrote the words afterwards.
Oh, that's interesting. Seems like it's a pretty good whole sounding album.
Right.
It's not like random.
Right. So it's just like it just works. And again, I have another clip on this, so maybe he can shed some light on his creative approach.
It was all written and recorded chronologically and spontaneously. So I guess that's how I ended up with 4 long epics this time of more than 20 minutes. There are also lots of tempo changes within the tracks themselves. It's something I haven't really done much in the past. A bit of a warning here. I suggest you do not listen to 4 epics in one go. You could die. So yeah, I think I should warn you here. Maybe take it easy. 1 epic at a time. That will do.
Yeah. The theory of everything is broken up into 4 epic tracks of 20 minutes or so each. And if you try to listen to them all at once, you'll die. So don't do that.
Well, I guess I'm dead.
I will say I listened to one phase. They're called phase 1 through 4. I listened to one phase on my drive to work every day, and it kind of worked out. You get the whole chunk on your 20-minute drive to work. It's kind of the perfect length. Do one a day, and you've got a good listening experience.
Yeah, when I first discovered the album, there was a YouTube video of a guy who put pictures from the concept, the album art, along with the music, and then the liner notes explaining the story, all in one video.
Yeah.
And so I sat down and watched that whole thing in 2013, 2014. The video's gone now, sadly, but that was,
That's cool.
That's when I got most of the story, because those liner notes
Well,
kind of helped a lot.
They're pretty they're pretty thorough. They tell you what's going on.
Yeah, it's a pretty straightforward story.
The timeline is a little confusing as far as when how long between these scenes take place.
Yeah,
I will get to that. I'm going to need your help keeping
stuff.
track of that, by the way. Here's an interesting factoid that he revealed on Facebook, actually. Lucassen suffered a, quote, pretty serious elbow injury during recording, but he chose to forego surgery in order to finish work on the album. That's the kind of man Ayreon Lucassen is.
Dedication.
Yes.
Does he play
everything?
He doesn't play the drums.
No.
Someone else play the drums.
Yeah, but he plays everything else.
Did he play the flute? I thought someone else.
So
played the flute
okay, I have that. Let me get to that. Okay, so contributors to the album. I will ignore the guest spots because he has kind of a troupe that he works with.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to talk about the guest appearances yet. I'll talk about them as they come up during the album. But
okay.
Ayreon Lucassen plays electric and acoustic guitars, bass guitar, mandolin, and analog synthesizers. So he plays almost everything.
Yeah.
His longtime collaborator Ed Warby plays drums and has played drums with him for years. Yeah. So yeah, he doesn't play drums. And then he has all of the classical instruments. He has a troupe of them. So Ben Mathett on violin, Makey Peters on cello. Sorry, I apologize. I didn't look up how to say their names. Joran Gosens on flute, bass flute, piccolo, bamboo flute, and contrabass flute, which was the super flute. Yeah. Troy Donacley did whistles and ukulele pipes. He's from Nightwish, by the way.
What's a ukulele pipe?
I think it's like an Irish pipe.
I think I know what it might be in the song.
And then Wilmer Warbrook. Again, I apologize for butchering these names. He did backing vocals, but he also provided the, quote, guide vocals. So when Ayreon did the demos, he used Wilmer here to record all of the vocal melodies to then send to the guest vocalist to tell him what he was looking for and to see if they were the right fit. So the fact that he was able to sing all these parts on his own is incredible.
Yeah.
So Wilmer must be a really great vocalist.
Yeah.
And there's his version of the album that's just him with his demo vocals is on YouTube, on Ayreon's YouTube channel. It was released as like a special release. So you can listen to him if you want.
I'd be curious to see the differences.
Yeah.
Like if the guest vocalist changed things.
I should have done that. I didn't have enough time. Sorry, folks. The album's story, set outside the main Ayreon canon, was written by both Lucassen and his longtime collaborator, manager, and romantic partner, Laurie Lindstruth, who they had like performed together in a bunch of his solo albums. So, that's cool.
Are they married or just?
No, I think they're just together.
Okay.
But they've been together for years now.
Okay.
But he also talks a little bit about the lyrics on the Making of DVD, which I have.
The storytelling was also challenging because I wanted to write a very, very clear story that everyone would understand. But writing lyrics that tell a clear story without being too simple or cheesy is actually really hard. I think successful examples are rock operas like Jesus Christ Superstar and of course Pink Floyd's The Wall. Both huge influences on me. You have to find a balance between being lyrical and trying to move the story forward. But luckily, I got a lot of help again from Laurie, and we basically came up with this story together, talking about it for weeks and weeks. And when we had a basic story outline, I wrote the lyrics, and she completely changed them. But for the better, of course.
There you go. Giving Laurie her due.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, compared to The Wall, and what was the other album? I haven't listened to Jesus Christ Superstar, but
Why?
The Wall is a lot more cryptic.
It is.
But there's more cryptic ones, and this one is pretty straightforward.
Even among Ayreon's catalog, this one is easier to follow than something like 01 or the Universal Migrator.
Or Castle. What was Castle?
Electric Castle isn't
Castle?
too bad.
Okay.
Electric Castle is sort of a, it's like a video game. It's just like they go from level to level.
Okay. I haven't gone in depth with the other ones yet.
In March 2013, having finished recording instrumental demos for all tracks, Lucassen announced that the new album would be titled The Theory of Everything. Is that a thing in physics?
Yeah, it's a theoretical thing.
Okay, well, can you illuminate us on what that is? Because I hear it sometimes, and obviously this whole album is built around this quest for the answer to the theory of everything.
Yeah.
Can you explain what you know about it?
Yeah, I mean, I had theories about it, but yesterday I looked on like Wikipedia and like their entry and kind of skimmed it. But I mean, it's sort of a hypothetical series of laws / equations that would explain all of physical reality.
Is that even feasible? Like,
I mean, I don't think so. I don't know if you heard of Gödel's theorem.
no.
It's a theorem in mathematics where, let me see if I can state it correctly and simply. But basically, if you have a series of axioms that are consistent, you won't be able to prove everything, or they'll be inconsistent. So basically, like our axioms of mathematics, there are certain things that will be true, but we won't be able to prove. And so, analogously, if you have a theory of everything, quote unquote, there'll be things that are true that we won't be able to prove. And that's sort of like the argument that no such theory could actually exist of everything.
Well, I agree with that guy.
And then there's people who just use it, I guess, to refer to the unification of the four fundamental forces. If you can unify all four of those forces, then you have a pretty good theory of everything. So,
okay,
it's kind of like the overview, I would say.
I will trust you on that.
And then I think I've heard the turtles all the way down theory.
Yeah. Where's the turtle at?
Where, like, okay, you have a theory of everything that explains everything, but then you can ask, where do these equations come from?
What about?
And then you go, where do these equations come from? Where do those come from? And you just go all the way down infinitely. So,
where do you stand on the we're in a simulation and we're all NPCs?
there's an article. Apparently, people proved We're not in a simulation anymore.
Well, good.
Like they somehow, I don't know how they did it, but they like looked at the quantum mechanics and like how that would work if you simulated it and said, oh, you can't actually simulate the universe.
I could have told you that.
Well, in theory, you can. I mean, quantum mechanics is weird enough where you're like, things aren't continuous anymore. And so that's like a computer. Computers aren't continuous. There's a 0 and a 1. You can't really have a perfectly continuous like stream of numbers. And quantum mechanics kind of implies that. But I guess somehow they proved otherwise.
Good for them.
We'll see if it sticks. I think it was like one of those news articles. Some people published it and news people regurgitated it, and who knows what's actually true or not.
That tends to happen.
Yeah.
Moving on. The Theory of Everything was released as a double album on October 28th, 2013. 4 different versions were released, including special and limited editions that feature the behind-scenes DVD, and then 2 other versions. And I guess you have one of those.
Yeah, I don't know which version. I just got the standard version. I think there was like
you
on
probably
Amazon
have the special edition.
Yeah, because it had the DVD.
The limited edition, I assume, had maybe autographs or something.
Yeah, or like the vinyl record.
Yeah. I think that one of the vinyl was one of the other editions. So yeah, there you go. So standard, special, limited, vinyl.
How many vinyl records do you have to probably release for something this long?
I think the double LP.
Yeah, I guess 4 sides, 20 minutes each. About.
Yeah. That's totally doable.
Yeah.
Let's jump into this album, man.
Okay,
let's talk about it. All right. So, by the way, I think with 2112, we tried to introduce each either movement or track individually with like me giving the introduction and then I play a little snippet of the sound. We're not going to do that. It would take too long. So if Michael or I want to illustrate something in the audio, we will play clips that are relevant. And then I will in the edit add kind of the vocal parts or the lyrical parts that reflect what we're talking about at any particular moment. But we're not going to stop our conversation every 5 seconds because some of these tracks are really short.
He has like 12 3-minute tracks for each phase.
We're not going to stop every time to play a snippet just for the sake of introducing a new track. So we're just gonna talk through it. But I will introduce the very first track for phase 1, which is called Singularity. The first movement of that phase is called 1 Prologue, the Blackboard.
Will we ever understand this complex genius, this visionary thinker? Will we ever get this close again, uniting the forces of our universe?
A few things right away that the album introduces us to. Obviously, we're near the ocean somewhere. Hear the waves, hear the seagulls, and then you hear a bass guitar too. Bass forward that track, and then you hear the voice of a deep voiced man and a woman. So those 2 characters are named the teacher and the girl.
Yeah.
The teacher with his very deep baritone voice is JB from the band Grand Magus from Sweden. Mm-hmm. And the girl is played by Sarah Squadrani from the band Ancient Bards, and they're from Italy.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so those are our first 2 voices, the teacher and the girl. And luckily, there are liner notes on the album. You have them, or do you want to read them?
I don't actually have them, I don't think. I just pulled up the lyrics, and they have some of them.
8:49 this morning, that one?
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, that's... I'll read it. But, so it just like a lot of concept albums, especially rock operas, it does benefit you to have the booklet so you can read along with the story.
Yeah.
Because, they set the scene and stuff like that. You can still follow this story, I think, pretty well without it, but this adds a little bit more context. So it says 8:49 this morning, so we're going to assume October 2013, maybe. The dew of the morning still glistens on the sea salt that grows along the foundation of the old lighthouse. So we're at a lighthouse on the shore. It isn't in active service anymore, but has been renovated to serve as a private dwelling. High in the tower inside, a young man is slumped on the floor in the corner of the room, apparently in some kind of trance. Someone has put a blanket over him. He is deathly pale, but the steady, almost imperceptible rise and fall of his chest shows that he still clings to life. Standing next to him are a young woman and an older man. Both are obviously shocked and distressed. Their frequent glances toward the door give the impression that they're waiting for someone who is yet to arrive. On the wall next to them is a blackboard covered with impenetrable mathematical equations. The older man is holding a crumpled piece of paper. It appears to be a note scribbled in haste by an unsteady hand. What follows here is the story of what happened.
It kind of sets it up as everything's a flashback.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's why I'm going to need your help as they tell you how far back in the past we're looking. I need you to keep track of the years here.
I don't think I've ever thought about it exactly as years.
Let's just assume this is taking place in 2013.
Okay.
October 2013. That will definitely help us out.
Okay.
So a young man, he's dying or something. He's deathly pale, hunched over at an old lighthouse. There's a blackboard with mathematical equations on there. And this old man and young woman are looking over him. And the conversation of this song is these two characters kind of musing on what happened to him. Will we ever understand this complex genius, this visionary thinker? So,
Yeah.
I think it calls to mind the image of someone who's so dedicated to their science that they've gone insane or something. So he's it's almost like Lovecraftian, he saw I know they're not going there, but it does make me think of that. Like he saw the truth he looked too much into the truth and it looked back at him and he went crazy.
I guess that is sort of, kind of a good reference. I didn't think about that before.
Any thoughts on the blackboard, I guess, or just kind of even these characters, I think JB's voice is so unique.
Yeah. I think this first track, not much to say until you get to the end.
Sure.
And you circle back to it.
And that's true.
The next track is going to be backwards in time, kind of the beginning of the story.
Yes. And so I will point out one interesting thing about the lyrics of this. Both characters say in their own stanza, "Will we ever get this close again?" Right? Both of them say that. And I think it's interesting knowing how the story ends. They both say it and mean different things by it. For the teacher, looking at maybe, I'm assuming the blackboard and the mathematical equations. Oh, will we ever get this close again to finding the theory of everything? And the girl, will we ever be this close again, is maybe talking about emotional closeness.
Yeah, I think that's a good observation. I don't want to talk about the ending yet.
Right.
I don't know, because I keep wanting to say stuff.
And then they say at the very end there, or she says, "I think he's gone."
We will never get this close again. It's been too long. I think he's gone.
Meaning, this character is, I think, from the start, we know this character is going to die.
I don't think he dies.
Either dies or he's just his
his
sense of self is gone.
Yeah,
he's not the man.
Yeah, gone.
So I think from the very start, this album is set up as a tragedy.
Yeah, for sure.
Very Shakespearean. All right, so the album then jumps back in time, like you said, with the proper theory of everything part here, and the flavor text says 11 years earlier.
So it's 2002.
Sure. The father, another character, a brilliant scientist, has devoted his life to finding the theory of everything, the equation that will fully explain and unite all physical forces in the universe. He's obsessively working day and night, unaware that his wife and introverted son need far more attention than he has been giving them. The mother, another character, has always supported her husband's scientific pursuits, but the strain of dealing with their asocial child's special needs has worn her down to the point of desperation. So we have 3 new characters here. I think, 2 of them speak in this song. The father and the mother.
Do you know what the 4? I mean, I didn't realize this liner notes. I don't remember them all. They're only talking about unifying the fundamental forces, apparently, in this theory of everything.
Oh.
Do you know what the 4 fundamental forces
Fire, water, air, and earth.
You got it.
Is that it?
No.
Is it hustle, loyalty, and respect?
That's only 3.
And John Cena. I don't know.
Gravity and electromagnetism.
Okay.
Only 2 big ones. And the weak and strong force, which aren't really relevant to everyday life, but they're. So those are the 4 forces. And we already have 3 of them combined into one. And so gravity is just the weird one that we're trying to figure out. So I guess that's what this guy's doing.
Okay. Dropping things off his lighthouse. He's not living in the lighthouse.
Yeah,
anymore.
I'm like, that's 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Yet.
They very quickly established the father as basically the worst character in this whole story. Like, he's an awful human being.
I don't think he's not awful at the
He's awful.
At not the very beginning.
Yes, he is.
So, I mean, he's sort of like understandably obsessive compulsive, like workaholic, but he definitely gets worse throughout the album.
I think from the jump here, man, even in this song, he's awful. So, let me introduce these characters, I guess. So, the father is played by Michael Mills of the Australian band Toe Hider. He's the mastermind behind Toe Hider. He's incredible. He's a vocalist. He's a multi-instrumentalist. Because of this album, went and listened to Toe Hider's catalog. Fantastic. It's very eclectic, so they have everything that their first dozen songs I listened to. I was like, if you want to mix between Queen, Coheed and Cambria, Dream Theater, and My Chemical Romance, you've got Toe Hider. You've got a taste of it.
Those are like all my favorite bands.
There's like Linkin Park sounding stuff. Like I was like, I don't know. It's just like a mix between 2000s alternative rock mixed with progressive rock and other things. It's like it's very, very eclectic. And Michael Mills is a great singer.
Yeah, he's really good. I should check him out.
An unnatural amount of range with this guy. Very high highs, very low lows. And his character is introduced as someone looking for the one single master equation, unification of the great and small.
I'm so close to the answer, a dazzling symphony of cosmic strings. I feel the pulse vibrating just out of reach, the music of space. One single master equation, unification of the great and small. I hit the notes, the arrangement.
Is that square with the theory of everything?
Basically, right? You have quantum mechanics, which is the small, and general relativity, which is the great and big. And trying to unify those two things is one of the biggest questions in physics.
There you go. And then the mother is played by Christina Scabbia from the band Lacuna Coil.
Oh, I forgot she was in here. That's
Yep.
one of my favorite bands.
There you go. I enjoy it. I think, and she's a great singer.
Yeah.
I think they're a cool band. Got a cool sound.
Yeah.
I think we were both introduced to them through Guitar Hero 2.
Actually, I heard them in Guitar Hero 2, but I didn't get into them until 2012. They released an album, and I was downloading all the albums.
Yeah,
and that was
yeah.
one of them. I was like, oh, this album's really good. And so that's how I kind of really fell in love with them.
I think other than the classic prog dudes that are on this album, she might be the most famous contributor,
Yeah.
most prominent. Maybe
Look
the
at
Nightwish dudes, but
Yeah, is it Nightwish? I thought for some reason I remember Camelot. Is someone from?
yes,
Yeah, I think that's a pretty relatively bigger.
fair
band.
enough. We'll keep introducing characters as they start singing. But the mother is like, she starts out immediately. She is aggrieved. I will tell you, she's pleading with her husband. Are you trying to drive us away? Just when we need you the most.
Did you see that I need you right here? And what about our boy? I think he's got something to give. What secrets lie beyond these tunnel eyes?
You might find he's got something to give. What secrets lie beyond his eyes? So she's upset because he's neglecting their son. The son is asocial, is what they said, and special needs, and the father is neglecting them. And she's like, "Listen, you need to pay attention to me and your son."
But he's got to work, man.
Well, is that
gotta
what
find
you
the
would
theory of
say
everything.
if your wife came to you and said, "Our daughter or our son needs more attention now than ever"? What would you say?
My 2013 self would be like, "No, I got the theory of everything." My dad self would be like, "No, I can help with the kids."
Yes, I think anyone who has kids would probably think that, unless you're heartless like this guy.
Yeah,
Because his
workaholic.
response is, "I'm sorry you feel neglected, but it's clear that you don't understand."
I'm sorry you feel neglected, but it's clear that you don't understand. I'm aware and I want to be there. I just need some more time for the answer is blindingly near.
You're just too simple-minded, honey. I got more important things to do. I'm aware and I want to be there. I just need some more time to get to the answer of what I'm
Yeah.
looking for.
I guess later on, he kind of semi-switches and pretends
Yeah,
to be
but
interested in his son all of a sudden.
it's all of it's all manipulation.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the father is awful. In this, so that when I first listened to this album and really engaged with the story, I thought, oh, what a horrible person this is.
He is pretty. I don't think it's maybe necessarily. I think it's understandably horrible. I guess he's not like super terrible. He's just like a workaholic, obsessive genius.
No, he's in my opinion, he seems like a uniquely bad father.
Yeah, he's definitely a bad father. Especially
And
at,
husband.
like phase 2. Yeah, pretty bad husband. But
Those are like two of the most important things in his life: to be a father and a husband. That's his name.
that is true. That is.
I am the father, and I'm bad at it.
Well, he gets his comeuppance in the end.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
All right, and then so there's an instrumental called Patterns. I don't know if I need to play any of it unless you have something you wanted to point out about that. But the flavor text for Patterns says, "The son is so withdrawn because his mind is overwhelmed by analyzing the chaotic stimuli of the world around him and the mathematical patterns he sees in everything, even in nature. His brain seems to operate on a completely different level than other people's. There is something very special about him indeed." So it's like a mix between I think like a little bit of the Matrix. He sees the patterns in the world or whatever, but definitely what's that Beautiful Mind?
I'm thinking more Rain Man.
Rain Man?
Like,
Yeah.
so incredibly smart, but super asocial.
And speaking of which, Arian Lucasen cited A Beautiful Mind and Rain Man as direct inspirations. Yeah. And I also see The Matrix, and I also a little bit later see Flowers for Algernon.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
It's a book too, but it's basically a person with an intellectually disabled person. Is that right to say? A special needs person is given a experimental drug to kind of make them more lucid, I guess, and intelligent. It's like a miracle drug.
Oh, I think I've read the book.
Yeah.
It's the where his writing actually changes throughout the book.
I
and
think
stuff. We
so.
read that in class like twice, I think.
And as the drug's effects wear off, and he goes back into being who he was before, sort of like this, like, what is happening to me?
Yeah. Because he like becomes a jerk when he's super smart, and then he decides to go off the drug because
maybe alluding to what happens in this story.
Well, yeah, a little bit,
But
definitely.
I'll point out some things, but that quickly transitions into the next movement, which is called the Prodigy's World, and that introduces the next character, the main character, the Prodigy. The flavor text says, "The mother is determined to connect with the Prodigy, but he is completely unresponsive. He is simply incapable of relating to her emotionally, even though on some level he wants to."
I know you're there, but I won't see you. I hear your voice, but it can't reach me. It all seems so trivial in the scheme of things. I feel your touch, but it can't move me. I hear your words, but they confuse me. It all comes to nothing in the scheme of things.
I feel like as a dad, I think the lyrics hit me a little bit more of just trying to reach out and connect to your kid with them just being so,
Withdrawn.
withdrawn and disassociated. You just can't do it.
But I see that in the mother character. Like, why, I want to be close to you. Why can't I do that?
Yeah.
Why can't I break through? But, and then the son, we have his kind of inner monologue, like how he sees the world here in this song. But the father does not care.
Yeah, the father's
From what I saw.
not even in the song. Doesn't care. Yeah, it seems like the son or the prodigy is like realizes he's sort of in this world and can't connect he seems to want to.
Right, he says that. I know you're
Yeah.
there, but I won't see you. I hear your voice, but it can't reach me. I feel your touch, and it's honestly, it feels like Tommy as well. Tommy, can you hear me?
Yeah, but not as literal because he literally couldn't hear people.
Yeah,
and stuff.
this is more,
Yeah.
more intellectual.
Intellectually.
And then the prodigy's kind of explanation for kind of being so withdrawn is he sees the world as just, kind of emotional connection and hearing other people. It all seems so trivial in the scheme of things.
But that's a good line. But from his perspective, it's not trivial. You know what I mean? He can't connect emotionally and.
Well,
and
that
whatnot.
line makes it seem like he's choosing not to, because he's just like, I just don't see the use in it. I'd rather be marveled by the stimuli around me.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Patterns emerge in nature's dance. Numbers are born in the wheel of chance. Why do I see this? What does it mean to me? Like, that's what his focus is on, not the needs of his mother or anything.
So how old do you think he is in this song?
He's like a school child, I would imagine. That's the thing. I can't tell if he's a high schooler, but the way some of his schoolmates act, it seems like they're younger.
Yeah, but he knows quantum gravity and vibrating. Like, he knows string theory is what vibrating strings kind of implies.
He's a prodigy, Michael.
I guess he reads books still.
He must, yeah.
He's reading textbooks.
That's fair.
And then I guess in the future song, when you introduce the teacher,
Yeah.
again, I'm a little confused at that point when we get to there.
But the last bit of the prodigy's world here, he says, "Why was I chosen? What does it mean to me? Tell me why." I thought the line "Why was I chosen" is so interesting. Like, it's sort of like why am I like this? But also it makes me think of Neo. Like, why am I the chosen one?
Yeah.
Given this forbidden knowledge or this forbidden gift to see.
Definitely special in some manner.
Right. But yeah, the next you transition to it, but the next movement is called the Teacher's Discovery, and this is where we get an introduction to the teacher proper, and the girl. And one other character. But the flavor text here says 7 years ago as opposed to 11. So it's been 4 years.
So 2006?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. As the students work on a test in science class, a gust of wind from the open window blows apart a paper full of math equations off the teacher's desk. Unnoticed by the teacher, it lands at the prodigy's feet. Already having finished the test, he picks up the paper. His face lights up as he begins. So he must be like at least competent enough to go to school and work, all that stuff.
Yeah. It sounds like, right, it's high school, maybe senior year.
Maybe middle school.
I'm thinking, but this teacher is doing research of some kind. He's trying to solve some math equation. That's like a college professor would do that, not some
I would imagine
high school teacher.
My impression of the teacher is he is a little ashamed of his life and thought he was capable of so much more. So this is his independent research, unrelated to the stuff that he's doing, with these kids.
So he has a PhD in mathematics and is teaching high school. Well, I guess physics. He's doing science class. So he has a PhD in physics and teaching high school science.
Mike, life happens. You don't know where this guy's been.
I don't know. I guess maybe 2006 things were different.
The recession hadn't hit yet, but
That's true.
maybe he's studying. Maybe he's teaching high school to make ends meet, but he's still going to school.
But he's an old man, according to the song number 1.
He's an old man 7 years ago. He's just a middle-aged man now. I don't know.
Wait, see, I guess 7 years in the future, he's an old man.
Anyway, the teacher, he notices the prodigy looking at his notes and says, I can't believe it. This can't be true. How do you know this? I've tried to solve this for as long as I can recall.
I can't believe this can't be true. How could you know? I've tried to solve this for as long as I recall. Is this your work? Be honest now. How did you do it? I'm not angry, boy, but I really need to know.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't explain.
This sounds like not a beautiful. What's the other? Good Will Hunting. Except in that one, it was an actual problem, wasn't it?
Yeah, they put like a really hard math problem on a chalkboard outside and challenged the students to solve it. And Will in the movie, played by Matt Damon, he's a janitor at the school, and he solves it.
Yeah. It's not like an unsolved mystery at that point.
No,
but
it's just something very difficult.
Yeah.
And then the prodigy speaks for the first time, I think, right here. No. I'm sorry. We didn't even introduce this guy. He spoke in the previous movement. The prodigy, played by Tommy Karovic from the band Camelot and formerly of Seventh Wonder. Great singer.
Yeah.
He honestly, like, he's got, and Lucasen described this, he's got a very controlled voice. Like, you could tell he, like, takes his craft very seriously. He might be, like, classically trained. He's just got a very nice control over his voice.
Yeah.
And he is doing heavy metal, singing. But I was like, this guy, he would have fit right at home in a boy band. Like, he has that boyish, like a Backstreet Boyish sound as well to his voice, which I think works for this character. He's the prodigy, so he has a youthfulness to him.
Yeah. I mean, his voice fits pretty well.
Yeah.
But he definitely doesn't look like his voice.
No. But he looks like he would have been an NSYNC or something.
That's funny.
But yeah, the boy is saying that, I'm sorry, sir, I can't explain. It's just the way I've always been. This is just natural. It's like Good Will Hunting, It's just like, I just know. I just see it.
Yeah. And it seems like, I guess in the past 4 years, he's kind of social.
In a way.
Before, it seemed like he was totally, like, couldn't even talk or connect at all. And now at this point, he's in normal, regular, he's not in a special ed class or anything.
Right.
So it's kind of seems a little, I don't know, sort of inconsistent to get the plot going. But
that's why I think they're more like in middle school. Like, he was like a late bloomer in his early childhood. Like you said, maybe he's just reading all the time and not like engaging socially, but maybe like, through, I don't know.
So he's like
programs.
So he's 12?
He might be.
At this point?
Yeah. 12 or 13 maybe.
And then,
that's how I pictured it.
And then I guess 8 in the previous when it begins.
And he's gained enough understanding of social cues to like be able to interact with the world in a more, be able to mask it a little bit better.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that makes sense.
And this scene also introduces the other a new character, which is the rival, played by Marco Hietala. Hietala? I don't know. It's from Nightwish and Tarot. But the rival is a stereotypical high school or middle school rival. Like, hey, I used to be the smartest kid in class, and now you came along and ruined it for me.
It's like the nerd rival.
It's the nerd bully.
Yeah.
So he jumps in to this conversation, and the teacher's like, hey, how did you figure this out? I've been trying to do this for years. And the rival says, don't believe him. He's envious.
I'm sorry, sir, I can't explain. It's the way I've always been. You see the numbers just appear before my eyes.
Don't believe him, no, he's envious. I felt it from the start. In every class, I've always been the genius. And he just wants to be like me. Don't let him deceive
In every class, I've always been the genius, and he wants to be just like me.
I do feel, at least in my high school self, I was that arrogant. I was probably the rival in that thought I was smarter than everyone.
Yeah.
And then I went to grad school and realized I'm not very smart. These people are smarter than me.
I think a lot of people, especially like when you're in like the gifted courses or whatever in grade school, like someone comes along who is just a little bit smarter than you in certain subjects, and you just feel this like, I used to be special.
Yeah.
And so I especially consider if we're to assume these are middle school students, I can relate to that a bit more. You know,
Yeah.
this seems believable. If they're in high school, I'm like, you're grown. What are you doing?
Even high school, people aren't that grown.
I guess so.
It was still that intellectual rivalries between people.
I never called anyone a faker though.
Yeah, I don't know how you can fake solving the problem.
Don't let him deceive you. He's nothing but a fake, a sad pretender, trying to take my place.
It sounds like he's like a new guy to the school. Or maybe it's 7th grade and they just met from different elementary schools.
Yeah.
Or 9th grade if they just met.
That's my take on it. And that transitions very neatly into the next scene, which is love and envy. Why is the rival constantly bullying the prodigy? And why is the girl compelled to protect him? Those are the questions that are asked to start the song off. And
You
this is,
introduce the girl. Well, I guess the girl was in the first song.
but yeah,
wasn't she?
it's, you know, this is kind of her first real scene, but she's coming to the prodigy's defense. Like, why are you tormenting him? Are you jealous? There must be a reason you're so cruel, she says to the rival.
Why do you torment him? Are you jealous? There must be a reason you're so cruel. What have you got against him? Does he scare you? What did he ever do to you?
Oh no, I can't believe you're falling for this loser. Oh no, I thought you knew that I am so much cooler.
And the rival says, I think some of the worst lyrics in the whole album here.
Yeah.
Oh no, I can't believe you're falling for this loser. Oh no, I thought you knew that I am so much cooler.
That is something a middle schooler would say. So
I guess my take on the word cool is you should never use it in a song earnestly. It should always be ironic.
yeah.
You know, like, oh, you think you're so cool. No one should ever earnestly say in a song cool or cooler.
Yeah, I can't think of any
'Cause it
song.
sounds
Think of any song that
ridiculous.
has cool in it and uses it well.
I can't think of a single one.
Yeah, okay.
It sounds fake,
Yeah.
no matter what, or it sounds corny.
Because no one calls himself cool. It's
Right.
like people go like, I'm so cool.
Yeah.
It's
You could say something is cool, I
Yeah.
guess. But then I think lyrically there are better ways to say something is cool than to
Yeah.
say it's cool. I just think it's weak language. Try better.
But loser and cooler
Yeah.
rhyme with each other. So
And look, by the way, Lucasen said in that behind the scenes interview, he made an effort to rhyme less with the lyrics. He didn't try hard enough in this case.
guess not. But I mean, you're stuck to a story and meters, and like it's really hard to write necessarily great lyrics along with great melody in the specific tempo.
Right.
I mean,
Either way,
I couldn't do better.
This is where I cringe. I'm a little, this is where it's the most cringe for the whole album, I think. Right here with these two kids.
And it's starts the love triangle. This song,
Yes.
the girl seems to love like the prodigy. I don't know if it's love at this point, but definitely the rival wants to be with the girl.
I think she wants to fix him.
Yeah, I think it's like a protect him, fix him, kind of pity him, at least at this point.
Yeah. It's like Lorraine from Back to the Future. Like she pities him and goes to the dance with him out of pity.
Yeah. The pre-time travel
Right.
Lorraine.
And the girl says to the rival, "Are you being driven by your pride?" Just calling it out. "I think you are threatened by his brilliance, but still you admire him deep inside."
Why do you torment him? Are you jealous? There must be a reason you're so cruel. What have you
Maybe she just has a thing for smart guys.
It's cool. The world needs girls like that.
Yeah.
For all our sakes.
I married one.
Have I married one?
Yeah. I think it's about. That's it for that song.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The next movement actually is an instrumental, which is one I actually do want to talk about, and I want to play some clips from. But that is the track Progressive Waves. I should start with this. I am of the opinion that The Theory of Everything is Ayreon's best album musically.
I agree.
Best instrumentation, best production. He sounds incredible. Everything sounds incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my favorite Ayreon album overall. You know, does it tell the best story? I don't know. Like I think part 2 of the Universal Migrator is maybe the best like musical album. It's the most listenable from start to finish because it's not so tied to a story. But this one, it's right up there. It's so listenable, especially a track like this, which is just, pure prog rock instrumental.
This whole song is just repeating the same melody, but with different instruments,
Right.
in different ways, which I think is a prog thing to do.
Yeah.
A lot of songs do that. I really like it.
So not only does this album feature guest vocalists to play the different characters, it also features some guest musicians. And I believe this album was Arjen Lucason's excuse to get some of his keyboard and prog rock heroes to appear on the album. So I'm going to play a few solos here from this song, and I'm going to see if you guess who these people are. If you don't know what that instrument is, it's the modular Moog. The Moog synthesizer, which is like the granddaddy of all synthesizers. Classic 70s prog rock stuff right there. Any idea who played that?
I mean, the
Moog solo?
Only keyboardist I really know is Not Jordan.
No, not him.
Jordan Rudess.
It's not Jordan Rudess.
Because that's the only. I don't know Pink Floyd's keyboardist. I don't know any other famous keyboardists.
That is Keith Emerson of Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Oh, yeah.
One of the most famous synth progressive rock keyboardists of all time. And I think anyone who grew up listening to 70s prog rock and like had an affinity for the keyboard probably cite Keith Emerson as an influence. So the fact that Arjen Lucason got him on here is just probably something that he was really geeking out about. He's like, "What? I get to have my hero on here to play?" He's like, "Well, he's got to play the Moog." So I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of a modular Moog. It's the keyboard. You have the piano keyboard controller, right?
Yeah.
And but then you can add stacks of like electronics above this thing, so it's like this giant 70s 80s computer almost with wires all over the place.
Giant modular synth.
Yeah, to just get all of your do all of your synthesis for you. It's incredible.
I've seen Andrew Huang from 1st of October. He has he's a YouTuber. He has one of those, but it's like a whole wall.
Yeah,
and there are wires going everywhere, and a bunch of different synthesizers and modulators and whatnot.
They showed Keith playing his Moog here for this album. But yeah, it's the same thing. It takes up a whole wall of your house. It's a piece of furniture. So that I'm very happy that Arjen got him on here. This is actually a few years before he passed away. So
just in time.
Yep. And then one other guest keyboard player here in this song. That tone is undeniable. You know, if you hear that, you recognize that as only one person, because only one person's keyboard tone sounds that way, and that's
Jordan Rudess?
Jordan Rudess
Okay.
of Dream Theater,
Okay.
my favorite band. He is not like necessarily like a person that Arian Lucasson grew up listening to, but he is someone that he admires and was lucky enough to get him to play on this song.
Yeah.
It's funny. The only thing I knew about this album before I listened to it for the first time was that Jordan guested on it, because I remember him promoting it around when this album came out. And so I was listening for him while I was listening to this album thinking, oh, where is he at? Where is he at? And as soon as and I was there he is.
Yeah, because when you mentioned guest keyboardist, I was like, I think that part is probably Jordan Rudess in my head.
That's his trademark sound, what he
Yeah.
just played, you know. So nothing sounds like that
Yeah.
from anyone else. But yeah, that's cool. And those two players, that's the only point in the album where they play. So just
Okay, well, I mean, they're
two
good.
little solos.
Yeah. Do you think this instrumental like is showing forwardness in time or means anything, or it's just like a
I don't know.
interlude?
Yeah, it might just be an interlude. Maybe it's like I kind of imagine maybe it was like the rival getting into like, maybe he's like pushing the prodigy
Like
around.
a
you know?
montage of the girl protecting the prodigy.
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
beaten by the rival.
It definitely doesn't. There's no time given for the next movement, so I don't know if any time proceeds. But they do move to a new scene.
I mean, it seems like it's at least within a week, I would say.
Yeah.
Of the previous.
But the next thing is called The Gift. The next movement. The teacher visits the father, bringing him some surprising news about his son. This is more evidence that the father's an awful person.
He's useless. That's so messed up.
The teacher says, I wanted to meet you about your son. I've never seen a mind like his, especially so young. He's got a gift for numbers, never knowing before, an outstanding genius who shouldn't be ignored.
I'm glad you could meet me. I'm here about your son. I've never seen a mind like his, especially so young. He's got a gift for numbers, never known before. An outstanding genius who shouldn't be ignored.
You must be mistaken.
And then he says the boy can hardly speak, but in the previous song he spoke decently.
Well, the father clearly hasn't been spending enough
Yeah.
time with his son.
I guess maybe he still doesn't know like recent versions of his son,
Yeah.
so he's still.
I was like, that's your fault, bro. Yeah, he said the father's response is, you must be mistaken. He's useless and weak.
You must be mistaken. He's useless and he's weak. I see no sign of genius. The boy can hardly speak. He just sits there lifeless for hours at a time. No expression on his face. His eyes staring into space.
I see no signs of genius.
Well, then he just sits there lifeless for hours at a time. But then how does he go to school and like succeed at school? Apparently,
This, by the way, remember, this is 4 years after the father saying, I just need a bit more time, honey. Just a bit more
I guess-
time.
Yeah, 4 years of him ignoring his son, so maybe.
Yeah, he's awful.
doesn't even know.
What a despicable human being. Hey, the teacher's got the right idea. How could you be so heartless?
How can you be so heartless? There must be so much more that we can
Who are you to judge me? You don't even know what we've been
just
through.
giving more attention. See, there's more to him than meets the eye.
I'll try to help the child, but I'll not be wasting my time.
What has he been through? So you don't even know what we've been through. Like he's been through something. It seems a little.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
Defensive.
he's applying something, but I assume that he's just playing the victim. you know?
Yeah. They're just saying, oh, my son is special needs, therefore I've been through a lot
Yeah,
and I have to deal with this predicament.
and I have more important things to do, dang it.
Yeah.
And I highlighted the last response from the father, 'cause, like, which is like just a scummy thing to say. Fine, I'll try to help the child. It better not be wasting my time.
That is a pretty. You should help your child. That is by definition, not wasting your time
Yeah.
helping your child. And he calls it the child, which is kind of messed up too.
Yeah. Not even my child, just the child.
Yeah. The first time I listened to this album, I connected with the father initially. Because he starts off as the father, like, oh, the man of science.
Yeah.
And so I kind of maybe overlooked any
His
negative things
faults.
throughout the song. And more I've listened to the album, like, oh, he is kind of a jerk. He is mean.
Not
Every time-
kinda.
Oh, yeah. So each time he gets worse and worse
Yeah.
in my head.
Yeah. The teacher's the person to look up to because he's a man of science too, but he has more empathy and
Yeah.
he's like Good Will Hunting. He's
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams character. Yeah.
It's not your fault.
All right, and then the next movement is another instrumental. It's called the 11th Dimension, and I want to introduce that because I have a question about that. One, I like this song because it's nice use of the classical instruments, the woodwinds and the strings. It's very nice, very pretty, which is something I've always appreciated about Ayreon's albums. But what is the 11th dimension, Michael, as a physicist?
Well, I'm assuming it's referring to, like, in string theory, in order to get the math to work, they kind of posit a bunch of extra dimensions that are so incredibly tiny that we can't perceive them.
Oh,
But last time I heard it was 14 dimensions. So maybe he's just picked the 11th out of the 14. But also the number keeps increasing year by year. So maybe in 2013 it was 11, and now it might be
14.
higher. It might be higher than 14 at this point. I don't keep up with string theory.
you don't know what's special about the 11th dimension as
No.
compared to anything else?
Probably just sounds the coolest.
So it's like, okay, so I can understand 2D and 3D,
Yeah.
What is the fourth dimension?
Well, fourth is time.
Time?
And then the string theory dimensions are like, it's the common analogy is like, if you're walking on a tightrope, right, you have one dimension, forward and back is one dimension. But if you're an ant on the same tightrope, you can go upside down and around in a circle. So that's kind of like an extra dimension that the ant can perceive, but the tightrope walker can't perceive. That's sort of like the kind of the explanation I've heard about all these extra dimensions that strings are all raveled up into.
Okay.
Science mumbo jumbo.
Sure. All right. Next up, we jump forward again. Now it's 5 years ago, as opposed to 7.
It was, 7. So
7.
now it's 2007.
2008.
2008.
5 years
Yeah.
from 2030. Yeah.
You're right.
2008. The recession's hit. Inertia is the name of the movement. It says the prodigy wants to improve his relationship with his father, but he doesn't know how to reach out. So it's been 2 years again. The father said, yes, I will help. I will try to help the boy. So 2 years after though, see how he's doing? Apparently not well, because his son still can't connect with him,
Yeah. So what he's in?
even though he wants to.
He's a sophomore now,
Gotta be.
presumably.
Are you trying to drive me away? Said the prodigy. Just when I need you most. And that's a callback to what the mother said in the first song
Yeah.
she's introduced in.
Yeah.
Are you trying to drive me away? Just when I need you most. I think I've got something to give. I just don't know how.
So nothing's changed.
Well, it seems like he's like thinks he can help his dad at this point. So they're kind of alluding to him helping his
Yeah,
father
because
in
that's
his
all he
work.
can do.
Yeah.
That's the only thing his father seems to value is
Yeah.
this work he's doing.
It's that classic son-father relationship.
I just want you to love me. I just want to know you're proud of me.
Yeah. I don't think that you don't even get a father's response.
No, you don't.
In this song.
he's not listening.
He's like, I have better things to do.
Oh my gosh. All right, but he is in the next scene, which is The Theory of Everything Part 2. The mother and the father agree to enlist an outside expert to help with their son, but their motivations to do so couldn't be more different. I want to play this small section from the mother and what she says in here, because it's funny. I have something funny to say, but also, it tells her what her goals are. What she wants to do with the son. There's the two characters there. But the line where she says, "We need to take him to therapy." I'm not a TikTok user. I've never used TikTok before, but I know that one of the things that they like to do is they play like a movie clip or something that happens out in the world, and they freeze frame and they play a song clip. I think we need to get this out there into the TikTok verse. We need to take him to therapy. Because that's a perfect sting. Like, someone says something dumb or inappropriate or childish, freeze frame. We need to take him to therapy.
Could be the new meme.
Yes.
Make a mediamade TikTok.
Someone do that. I don't want to, but
Get better things to do.
just credit me. It was my idea. But yeah, the character suggests taking their son to therapy, and the father says it's worth a try. Who knows? And then tells her, it can only help me out. It might help me out.
Do you think he's saying this to her, or he's just thinking it? I don't think he's saying this.
I hopefully not.
Yeah, it seems like he's like in his mind thinking, yeah, why not?
It could help me.
Yeah. And he also, I guess, seems to know in some manner his son is super smart and a genius. Because he's saying, why would else would
Well,
he
the
think?
father told, or the teacher told him.
Yeah, so maybe he's like, oh, maybe the teacher was right.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's been 2 years.
Yeah. And also the mom, I guess, triggering the therapy session seems a little random.
Well, I think she's fed up, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm surprised she's still with this guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you still with this man?
I mean, she has a kid. They got to stay together for the kid.
Yeah, I guess so. But I love the unison that they have. So both mother and father sing together. And one, it's pretty because their voices sound really nice together. But two, it's fascinating because they are saying the same thing, but meaning two different things.
Yeah.
And the lyrics say, a future to build, a role to fulfill, something to give, a reason to live. She is saying this in purely like selfless terms. I want my son to have a future. I want him to have a role in society. Mm-hmm. The father is like, all me. I'll have a reason to live. I'll have a role to fulfill if he can, just snap out of this and help me.
Yeah. He's like, help. His reason to live is a theory of everything.
Right.
And if only his son can fit in that aspect of his life.
Yeah.
Doesn't really
it's
matter.
It's like the only aspect of his life. And that concludes the first phase of the theory of everything.
Do you think the phases are broken up well? 'Cause I usually listen to it all at once, all four.
Oh, man, I thought, how are you alive?
I know. And so they all kind of blend together a little bit.
Yeah, I think like he said, if you listen to them one at a time in like one sitting at a time, or car drive, I think they fit well enough. Musically, it totally works. Like I think they're, this is the perfect amount of rise and fall. And the action just keeps going. So I see no problem with it. I think a lot of concept albums, time gets accelerated the longer you go into a concept album. So the last act is always rushed, and almost every concept album out there, the last act is always rushed, and I don't know why that is. But I felt like this one, it's paced okay. The years get a little weird. Like the span of time makes the father look even worse. Because you would assume maybe all of this takes place in 1 year or something. No. The fact that it's been 7 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess 11 and 7.
No, so 2001
yeah.
or sorry, 2 to 8, so 6 years. Is that what we said?
2002
To 2008.
was the beginning, but nothing really happened until 2006.
Well, no, 2002. That's when the mother's like, "You need to help me with our child."
Yeah, that's true. But then it wasn't until he meets the teacher.
Yeah, in 2000.
Where kind of things get going.
6. I can't. Whatever.
The whiteboard and string.
But then, yeah, the next phase, which is 2, is called symmetry.
I know it's hard to find the words.
So, any like meaning behind the name of the phases that you can pinpoint? Like the first one's called singularity, and the second one's called symmetry. Are those things?
I mean,
in
yeah,
physics?
they're all kind of standard physics terms people use.
Do they fit the story beats?
No, I don't. I mean, I can't think of any specific, like how singularity refers to anything specific in that phase.
Okay.
And maybe there is some meaning, but it seems like they're just 4 physics terms
Okay.
that come together.
Fair enough. But phase 2 starts with the movement called the consultation. And I kind of played a little bit of him, but introduces the character of the psychiatrist. The mother takes the prodigy to see a psychiatrist for assessment. He performs a diagnostic interview and a battery of tests on the prodigy. And you heard his voice is kind of a older man. That is John Wetton, legendary vocalist from bands like Asia, King Crimson, UK. You know, like another one of Lucason's heroes coming in.
And his parts like 3 tracks or something. It's pretty short.
Yeah, and I guess he did all his vocals in a separate studio. Usually, it seemed like everyone flew in to Ayreon's house to record in his home studio, except for John Wetton, who recorded all his vocals in a second studio elsewhere in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And Lucason came over and like oversaw the recording, but
Yeah.
it happened with him, you know, kind of in a day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little bit of an interview. He's asking the prodigy questions, and the prodigy opens up to him. I found that interesting. Says, I'm always out of place, like some alien machine. I never know how I should be, or what to feel, or what is real.
Seems I'm always out of place, like some alien machine. I never know how I should be, or what to feel, or what is real.
Can you help us reach our
Feel like as a socially awkward guy in high school, this kind of speaks to me in a, hyperbolic way.
Yeah.
And like that, you're going to connect to the prodigy.
Yeah, and the mother is there to ask what can the therapist do to help.
Yeah.
And therapist suggests talking about his dreams. Can you tell me what you've seen? Can you describe what you feel? Do you feel anything at all?
Let's talk about your dreams. Can you tell me what you see? Can you describe the way you feel? Do you feel anything at all?
And how does the prodigy respond?
He sees lots of science things to see, the 4 dimensions.
I see things that don't belong in this 4-dimensional world.
I see things that don't belong in this 4-dimensional world. There is so much more beyond, more to unveil, more to reveal.
Can you help us reach
So is he saying like he's like the ant on that tightrope? Like he sees the world in a different way? Like literally he sees the world in a different way?
Yeah, it seems like he sees more than 4 dimensions in some way,
Right.
or beyond the 4 dimensions. And that's what's clouding his mind.
And then the movement ends with another. It's a back and forth between the mother and the prodigy, and then they end in unison. So the mother says, "Can you help us reach our son?" And the prodigy says, "I need a future I can build." She says, "Can you tell us what to do?" He says, "Give me a role that I can fulfill." She says, "Can we help him rise above?" He says, "I know I've got something to give." And they both in unison say, "A reason to live."
Can you help us reach our side? I need a future I can build. Can you tell us what to do? Give me a role that I can fulfill. Can we help him rise above? I know I got something to give. A reason to
And again, I think it's interesting. It's just like with the mother
Yeah.
and father. It's them saying almost the same thing, but meaning different things.
Well, they also, isn't that the same thing the father and mother said?
Yeah,
Basically
I
the
guess it
same,
is.
Just rephrased.
Yeah. But, she is once again being very selfless in wanting that, whereas he's almost like becoming like his father. Like, I need to prove myself, or I need a reason to live. And maybe, sort of like abuse begets abuse. I think, he's becoming his father because his father, is abusing him.
I don't take it necessarily as him becoming his father, maybe at this point.
He feels
But-
a pressure to be like his father.
Yeah.
because That's
But
the
I think
only
he
way
just
he can
wants
connect.
to fit in. I think it's a natural,
Yeah.
I guess, high schooler. He's a high
Yeah,
schooler still.
yeah.
Just wanting to fit in, wanting to have a future, and just realizing he's different and not knowing what to do with that.
And I don't blame him. I'm not going to say he's a terrible person because
Yeah.
he's feeling this way. It is relatable. And the next movement, this is one of the phases, by the way, that I think works the best. As it's almost like it's all of these movements are one scene, back to back to back to back. It's all one meeting with this psychiatrist. And I'll get to another point I have about this album in a second. But Diagnosis is the name of this movement. It says the psychiatrist informs the mother and father of his findings, but will they accept the unconventional course of treatment, he suggests? So the therapist says that, yes, I see signs of impairment. There is something more. He is an exceptional savant, 1 in a million.
Yes, I'm afraid I see signs of impairment, but there is something more. He's an exceptional savant, 1 in a million. His mind is ablaze with distraction, but baby, I can help. I'm testing a new drug that can help him focus.
His mind is ablaze with distraction, but maybe I can help. I'm testing a new drug that can help him focus.
This is when the father speaks for the first time after going into therapy. He's like, "Oh, you can fix him and make him smart and help me."
Yeah, and this is a connection to Flowers for Algernon. I have this miracle drug that will help him.
Yeah.
Also, I love the way the father just goes, "Please!" He just screams, "Please tell us more." He's so excited by this prospect.
He's like, "Can you join the clinical trials? Get there early."
Yeah. If he can concentrate, he could help me. He might even be some use.
No, that's messed up.
tell us more. That sounds intriguing. Can he join your clinical trial? If he could concentrate, he could help me. He might even be of some use. Set to the mind.
I love the plea. Please!
And there's a chorus in this song that center the mind, cut straight to the core, brighten the flame, break open the cage, shatter the wall, shut down the noise, soften the pain, sharpen the brain.
Set to the mind. Cut straight to the core. Brighten the flame. Break open the cage. Shatter the wall. Shut down the noise. Soften the pain. Soften the brain.
I have to confess.
The Is that sung by the father every time?
It is here, yeah.
I think it gets repeated later
It
in
might.
in the album.
Yeah, it might. We'll have to look out for that. But yeah, here it's just the father. And I don't know, it reminds me of The Wall a little bit, striking through the wall. But here it's like, oh, baby, I'm so excited. We're going to fix my boy.
Fix him for me.
And he's going to help me. And then the therapist, though, he brings up that the side effects of the drug can include extreme delusions.
Just sort of a foreshadowing
Right.
of the future.
And that gets the mom excited, who instead of saying, please, she says, no.
The side effects could include extreme delusions. No, not on my life. I never allow it. No matter what we could win, I will let you endanger my child. I refuse to blink eyes when it's lies. Set to the bar.
Not on my life. And so she obviously is not down with the drug, whereas the father is giddy about it.
Yeah. I understand her being against it. Part of me is like, maybe look into it more.
Right.
It could be great if your son can, be normal to some extent and communicate with people.
Maybe, yeah, after the clinical trials, or
Yeah,
whatever. Maybe
yeah.
once the FDA approves it.
Yeah. Keep in touch. I think this song, and I think this album in general, I think the lyrics and singers do a good job of emoting
Yeah.
like what's going on in the story instead of just sort of singing. It's
Right.
a little very emotional.
They are pushing themselves, too. I heard the lady from Lacuna Coil, she said that she was pushed kind of to the point, to points in her vocal range where she didn't normally go, and she did it because she's, she felt the power in that, and she really pushed herself. And I think even Mike Mills of Toehider did the same thing when he played the father. Like he's not always in that high register, but here it calls for it.
Yeah.
Before we jump to the next movement, I do want to point out this song has another guest spot from a keyboard player, notable keyboard player. So let me play that. Bit harder to tell who that is, but any guesses on maybe some keyboard heroes that may have been featured here?
Nope. I honestly can't think of any that it reminds me of.
So that is Rick Wakeman of the band Yes, playing the Mini Moog.
Nice.
Another like just like Keith Emerson. I think it's those two guys like really
Yeah.
established what progressive rock keyboard would be. Even in like the theatrics, I think Rick Wakeman wears a cape. He's the original keyboard wizard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm just so happy for Ayreon to be able to have basically those two guys, Rick Wakeman and Keith Emerson, on the album together. I think it's a pretty big get if you're into classic keyboard players.
Yeah.
That
That was pretty good. And he's not a huge star. It's pretty great
He's-
that he
he's-
got these two guys.
I think he's beloved by the people who know him.
Yeah, I guess that's true. In the
Yeah.
prog community.
Right. But yeah, like my wife will have no idea who that is. I think other than Rick White, who had passed away already, he was Pink Floyd's keyboard player. I think.
Yeah.
He was the only other in the trifecta who probably would have fit in here.
Yeah. When did Rick White?
He died when we were in high school, I think.
Was it that long? I thought it was college.
2008.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I remember it when he passed away. We were in high school. Anyway, moving on. Again, a scene that takes place, I think, right after this meeting. It's called The Argument 1, and it's an argument between the mother and the father about the psychiatrist's new drug. Is the psychiatrist's experimental drug worth the risk? The mother and the father have vastly different views and motivations. I feel like you didn't need to tell us that.
Yeah, some of these are not helpful necessarily.
Redundant.
Some of them are helpful. They put in context.
Yeah.
These are like, yeah.
But the mother says, how could you even contemplate experimenting on our child? Were you only thinking of yourself again?
How could you even contemplate experimenting on our child? Were you only thinking of yourself again?
Yes.
No.
He
Why should I
says
want to
no.
help him? Yeah, he's trying to Because she's definitely saying this, trying to like, oh, I'm the good one.
Okay. He then ends the song with, "You make it sound like it's a crime. I'm not giving up. This isn't ... over."
Let's say a higher pitch.
I can't. That brings me to my biggest criticism of this album. Do you know what it is?
No, that was the cooler part.
The tracking. The song, the album is 4 long epics broken up into 42 different tracks.
Yeah.
The only reason why I think that any justification for doing that is he wanted to have 42 tracks.
Yeah.
Why?
Enter the Life, the Universe, and everything.
Yes, it was a reference to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, right?
Yeah.
I hate this in every concept album ever. I hate it. I hate when they break the tracks up mid arrangement.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts. I'm gonna see how it works in iTunes because I've been listening to it on YouTube, and no matter what, there's always a skip, and it breaks it up every time. And this is where it gets really annoying because the argument is what, like a minute long.
Yeah. That's pretty short.
25 seconds. It's a 25-second track. Why does that need to be its own track? Especially because it fits nicely between this song and the one before,
Yeah.
the movement before and after. I'm just going to play the end of this and see what it sounds like in iTunes. Even in iTunes, there's a gap.
How do you gain
It
that?
sucks.
I usually, when I listen to it, I have the problem of iTunes sometimes normalizing songs differently, but I've never had a gap that big.
That's straight from my PC. These songs are on the hard drive in there right now.
That's crazy.
It sucks.
And you can, if you have the CD, I figured out you can import songs as one song.
Interesting.
And so I did that with this album. So I have 4 songs.
Good. Because
Plus all the tracks.
luckily, he also sells this album on Bandcamp as 4 individual tracks.
Yeah.
That's the way to download it. Do not listen to this on YouTube. And I think he also has the full album released as one video on his YouTube channel.
I don't think he has that anymore.
It's hidden. You have to find it. I found it.
Send it to me.
I will. But yeah, and then a beautiful soul named Dan Prog on YouTube uploaded each individual phase as its own video, which again is how I preferred to listen to it.
Have you checked that's still up?
Yes, it was up like a week ago.
Okay. Because the one I used to listen to is gone.
Bandcamp, if you want to support the artist. If you want to buy this track, I recommend buying the Bandcamp version with the 4. Do not listen to these individual tracks because they don't work.
Yeah.
This song cuts out. Imagine, it's just like, I'm going to play it again. Imagine you're listening on shuffle and you hear that. It isn't. And then it cuts out and then you're listening to freaking Red Hot Chili Peppers or something.
Wait, is it? It stops and it isn't?
Yes.
Oh, that's terrible.
This is how the next track starts. Imagine you're listening to Welcome to the Jungle, right? What's a song with like a really famous end? Like a last track, like a last like 2 seconds of a song. Like
Probably
ends,
any AC/DC song.
Darn it. It's stupid. And I don't get why they do it. You were a prog rock band. I feel like any audience out there that listens to music, prog rock listeners are going to be the most like welcoming of a long 20-minute track.
Yeah.
No one wants to skip to track 12 of phase 2. Okay? No one cares.
And it could also just be a CD. If you had a CD, if you want to skip around.
Why would you want to do that? If you're a prog rock listener, why is that important to you?
Because if you're like listening to it and you want to get back to where you were listening to before, if you stop mid,
maybe that's the only reason to do it on a CD. We're in streaming now.
Yeah, sure.
It's just not. It doesn't work.
Well, streaming wasn't quite as big in 2013.
I guess Spotify existed.
Yeah, Spotify.
YouTube existed
as big. And he's older,
Even in like when we were listening to music on our iPods, I didn't want like 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence by Dream Theater was broken up into like 6 or 7 tracks.
Yeah.
I went into Premiere and edited in I edited all the tracks together to be one long track. because it was just not worth it to listen to it that way. It drove me nuts.
I think you told me you did that, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And I did it for this album.
Yeah.
And I did it for a few other albums where they broke up long songs into multiple tracks.
I don't even like it in, so the last half of Abbey Road by the Beatles does this. And I think as a record, it worked because the needle doesn't stop at a track. It just keeps going. So all the tracks flow together. Yeah. Or even Dark Side of the Moon does it too.
Yeah.
I don't even like it in those. Like when I'm listening to my iPod and I hear like the opening of Eclipse by Pink Floyd, you can tell that it was a carryover from the previous track. A little bit. It spills over. And it just doesn't quite work.
Yeah, it's never quite the same.
It's never clean. So, prog rock dudes out there, stop it. Your audience does not care. They don't mind listening to a long track.
As one track. The whole album, one track.
You might as well. Toehider did it.
They did?
One of their albums is like 47 minutes long. Even, like Portnoy still does this stuff with his transatlantic albums. They released The Whirlwind. It's a 75-minute song. Broke it up into tracks. I had to do it myself. I had to cut them together myself.
Well, 75 minutes won't even fit on a single CD, so you have to break it up.
I don't know. No, I think 70, whatever. I don't know.
I guess for the certain CDs, maybe.
Yeah, it wouldn't fit on a freaking LP. I understand why Pink Floyd had to break Shine On You Crazy Diamond into 2. Yeah. But now they're releasing it as one full song. They just released that. That was a new thing.
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah. The whole bloody affair or whatever. Anyway, I had to rant about that because that is the worst thing about this album is listening to it on YouTube as individual tracks. Yeah. It is constantly cutting, and it gets worse and worse as the tracks get shorter.
Yeah, I think there's only 2 tracks that I listen to individually, and that's the Theory of Everything Part 1, and then in Phase 4, I think Unification, I think is the name of the song, something like that, where it's just spitting out a bunch of random physics terms. I like that song individually.
Okay.
But usually I listen to whole phases with this album.
As God intended. Anyway, that bugs the heck out of me. I'm not gonna complain about it too much. I think I have one more example to play if I need to, but yeah, that's my biggest complaint of this album. And I wanted to save it until after we, talked about the good stuff. Anyway, let's get back to a character we haven't talked about in a while, which is the rival. New scene, it's the rival's dilemma. And the flavor text just says, the rival appears to have his own agenda.
So this is still in high school?
Yeah,
same grade? Yeah,
same year as when they're doing this, getting this experimental drug going. I was going to say, I do appreciate that this song gives the rival a bit more characterization, gets into his head. And, he has flaws, but you're able to, he's kind of thinking about his flaws and, humanizes him as opposed to the father who doesn't seem to be humanized very much.
Yeah, he's definitely...
He's cartoonishly bad.
I think I feel for the rival because as a high schooler, my identity was like good at school, being the smart one. And so when you're challenged by that, it's like, oh, who am I?
Right.
What's my identity? And so he's kind of going through that dilemma.
And he says, ever since I was a child, it all came so easy. I never had to try. If he's as brilliant as they say, how will I be noticed? Now I'm not so special anymore.
Ever since I was a child, it all came so easy. I never had to try. If he's as brilliant as they say, how will I be noticed? Now I'm not so special anymore. I'm not sure.
They just end it in like I'm still gonna beat him. Like I am.
Well,
I only show I'm the genius.
Well, I mean that's I think a childish thing to do,
Yeah.
But he's a child still. You're a fan of The Simpsons, right?
Yeah, I used to watch all of them.
I just watched the episode Lisa's Rival, where Lisa feels this way, where a new girl comes into school and she's smarter than Lisa, builds better dioramas, and
I'm pretty
can
sure I've
play
seen that
saxophone
episode,
better.
but I don't remember. Is that how old is that one?
It's like season 6, I think.
Okay, so I've probably seen it, but it's been a long time.
But it's the same exact thing that the rival's going through here. It's like, I used to be special.
Yeah.
I used to be the smart one in class.
Yeah.
And now I'm not so special anymore.
Do you ever feel that?
I mean, I think I did it in definitely elementary school when knew a new girl moved in and she was, she was also, in the upper tier of the class. So I, kind of felt threatened a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think I outgrew that, You just do the best you can. I think I was more competing with myself than anything else.
Yeah. I mean, you were actually competing in a sense in high school because you were like top.
Yeah, but some of them,
Five or
like some of these kids were like politicking their way to the top. Like, oh, I'm gonna take, like, if you can plan it out, it's like, okay, I will take Spanish 1 in middle school.
Yeah.
So that by Spanish 3, I will be a sophomore, and Spanish 3 honors will earn you an extra point in your GPA. And that's the only extra point you can get as a sophomore. So you have to take that class if you want to get the GPA cumulative, have a high cumulative. I was like, I'm not playing that game, man. I'm just.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
I'm just content to get all A's and, do the best I can.
I think I was top 10, right? First quarter of freshman year.
Yeah.
Because anyone with straight A's.
There were like 40 of us.
Yeah. And then after that, I'm like, I don't care this much about being in the top whatever. I was like, I'm just good at math. I don't care about all the other subjects.
Sure. And the next movement after the, and I don't know what this is. I think maybe this is it's an instrumental, and we were talking about does the instrumental reflect some action in the story, and like, is this the rival, like, again, bullying the prodigy,
Well, I mean, based on the previous song, it's him like doing better.
Okay.
Like, better at school or better at whatever they're doing.
Sure. And I don't know if I named it, but it's called Surface Tension, and it also has a nice synth solo by Rick Wakeman. And next up, A Reason to Live is the name of the movement. And it features a conversation between the teacher and the girl. I don't know if even this is a conversation. It might just be like them kind of talking, like soliloquies.
Yeah, this is also repeating the same series
of The Reason to Live.
Build a future, world fulfill, something to give, reason to live.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I think every character has said that at this point, right? Except for maybe the rival.
Yeah, I think the rival has.
But they all say that phrase and mean something a little different by it. Future to build, role to fulfill, something to give, reason to live.
Yeah. What do you think the girl means by it different
She
from
wants
the
to
mother?
fix him. That's my thing.
I think the mother wants to fix him too.
Yeah.
Maybe she wants to fix him so she can date him or something.
The mother?
No, the girl. Not doing an Oedipus.
And then the next movement's called Potential. And it's more of the same. The teacher and the girl each have their own reasons for supporting the prodigy. So this is where we get what the girl wants to get out of it. So we jump ahead to her portion. She says, his shyness is charming. I wish I could reach him. He's strangely disarming. I hope I can free him.
His shyness is charming. I wish I could reach him. He's strangely disarming. I hope I can free him.
I know I can help you.
Yeah, it is very much he's different and I can fix him. Thus, I am drawn to him situation.
Yeah. And the teacher, I think we already know where he's coming at it, but he says, my life has unfolded depressingly average. But if I support him, help him reach his potential, he'll be my contribution. I can still make my mark. My name will live on.
Where am I going? How did this happen? My life has unfolded
Yeah, I wonder if he tried to become a professor and failed and became like a high school teacher, and then was working on that math problem to like, oh, if I can figure this out, I'll be known. Or if he failed at even going to grad school, or like what point? I wonder what point he became depressingly average.
Yeah, and I think that's something that, like, especially like, you know, like midlife crisis. Like, have I done all that I can with my life? Like, have I made my impact on society? You know, will I be remembered for something important?
Yeah, and if you have a podcast, you'll be remembered forever.
Yeah,
as long as the internet exists.
And then we get a really nice back and forth between these two characters at the end of the song. I want to play it because I think it's interesting.
I know I can help him to reach his potential. He'll be my contribution. They'll remember my name, my claim to fame.
It's more of a demonstration of them kind of saying the same things, but meaning different things behind it. I don't know if Ayreon does that a lot in his previous albums, but it totally works here.
Yeah.
I think it's the best use of like character and symmetry, right?
Super symmetry. That's a different reference. You compared the teacher to the father, but in this scene, it seems like he also kind of has a selfish motive to
In a
wanting
way.
to help.
Yeah.
But maybe not as selfish. He's like, I just want my name remembered, so I'm going to help him because he's going to be great, and I'll be remembered through him.
I'll be his Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, which, I don't know, the ending kind of maybe conflicts with that a bit.
Sure. And then we get another instrumental. This one's called Quantum Chaos, and it has some flavor text. Not all of them do, but this one does. As the prodigy gradually disappears into a chaotic world of patterns and equations, the father can't stop wondering if the psychiatrist's drug might help. So maybe that this song, this chaos, represents not only what's in the prodigy's mind, but the internal conflict of the father.
Yeah.
And that's when we get the song Dark Medicine. The father meets the psychiatrist, this time alone.
I know why you're here. You're a fellow man of science. Our point of view is very much alike.
The choice is clear.
And I love the therapist. It's like, I know why you're here. You're a fellow man of science.
I think it was just like all scientists are like the same.
they all have selfish needs to solve the mystery of whatever.
It is weird though. I mean, maybe exists, but most therapists aren't also doing medical drug science. Like, you're not usually the same person.
It's true.
Maybe this therapist is special, but
and this is deeply unethical to be meeting, right? I don't know. I guess it's a minor. Like, are you allowed to talk with the parents about this kind of thing?
yeah, I don't think that part's unethical. The next part's unethical. But I don't. Think talking to a therapist, I don't think is unethical, especially since, if he's a minor. I mean, I don't think the therapist could like record it and show. It's still some confidentiality, but access to medical records.
Right. The father says this, and it's like he's totally putting on a front. He doesn't really care about this. I think this is just putting on an act.
Yeah.
The choice is clear. I don't need to be convinced. Denying him this chance just isn't right.
The choice is clear. I don't need to be convinced. Denying him this chance just isn't right.
Give him one a day.
You know, he's justifying it, maybe even in his own head. It's like, well, I'm only doing him a favor. It's just not right to deny him this chance to be exceptional.
Yeah.
When it's really, he's selfishly, just needs help.
Yeah, and I think the therapist also selfishly wants to test his drug.
But he does say, give him one a day. That's the safest place to start. At such a tiny dose, the risks are low. So,
Yeah, and it's just a secret.
Yeah.
I want to know how he secretly gave it to his son, though.
Oh, and it says, I have it. I have
okay.
it in the next scene here. But the father, right before we get there, says, keep it between you and me. They would never understand. Let's both agree that no one needs to know.
Keep it between you and me. Oh, they would never understand.
feel like it's this arrogant, I'm a man of science. I am smarter than everyone else. I can do whatever I want
Yeah.
kind of situation.
Yeah. Very unethical. Very bad. And then the next movement, I guess, is called Alive with an exclamation point. One of the best, like, movements on its own, I think, in the whole album. Even though it, again, has abrupt cuts at the beginning and end.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts. But I do really like this section. But it starts with the flavor text. The father has been secretly putting the drug in the prodigy's food. The results are almost immediate and stunning. So that's how he's doing it.
I do like, I think in other parts of the album, the very Theory of Everything Part 1, they kind of talk about the theories coming together in a similar way that music and harmonies come together.
Sure.
Which I really like that comparison of like, because when you come up with a theory, an equation or whatever, and it's like simple and beautiful, it's like you hit the right, like, oh, this just looks good.
Yeah.
It must be right. And we make music and you hit that right melody, right harmony, and it all fits together. It just kind of feels right. Or like that musical to science comparison.
And the prodigy says, patterns are forming, breaking through the noise, a beautiful symmetry, slowly falling into place.
Patterns are forming, breaking through the noise. A beautiful symmetry, slowly falling into place. Inspiration is flowing, filling up the void. A perfect harmony, full of elegance and grace. Oh, come alive.
So he's becoming lucid.
Yeah.
It's flowers for Algernon situation.
Things are coming together.
I like this movement because it sounds almost like an 80s power ballad or something. And not even power ballad, just like a Van Halen, like triumphant arena rock song.
Yeah, I think it's a good one of the better tracks.
The prodigy says, I come alive. The road is so much clearer now. I'm finally awake. Destiny awaits.
It is, yeah, it's nice seeing that he's coming. And how is he going to be? What kind of person is he going to be with this new
Yeah.
drug? And the father's like, can I talk to you? Can I get through to you now?
I love what he says. I never doubted you. I always knew you'd win this fight.
Am I getting through to you? Can you hear me, son? I never doubted you. I always knew you'd win this fight. Now you're reaching out to you. Can you help me, son? I'm so close to the answer, but I need your brilliant mind. We've come alive.
Never doubted. He never did.
Never. He's only useless and weak.
Right. You never called him that. I'm reaching out to you. Can you help me, son? I'm so close to the answer, but I need your brilliant mind.
I mean, it sort of parallels the mother in what the track where she's trying to reach out to him
Right.
and touch him, and he can't. But now he's like, the father's reaching out, but for selfish motives.
He's still so close to that answer. It's been 6 years or whatever.
I think it has been like 11 to.
We're in 2008 right now. And in 2002, at the very beginning of
Yeah,
this story,
yes.
he had said, I'm so close.
Research takes a long time.
I'm sure, but he needs to, he used that excuse. I'm so close, honey. Just give me a bit more time. Then I'll pay attention.
I guess that's true. I thought I was going to graduate for many months, and I thought I was so close when I was getting my PhD. So maybe you just kind of, you hit that, like, you're so close, and you find a problem, and then you're like, oh, I'm so close, and then you find a problem.
It's too late now. He's left his whole kid's childhood behind.
I mean, he still has, probably shouldn't chew, but 2 more years.
We'll see if he makes most of that. Now we will fulfill our fate. Destiny awaits. That's how it ends with both of them. We will fulfill our fate. So they're working together.
Good father-son bonding.
And this phase ends with the song The Prediction. The mother rejoices at the prodigy's remarkable progress, unaware that it was all due to the drug she was so violently opposed to.
I feel like the mother is probably smart, because she's married someone who's smart.
Sure.
And the prodigy is definitely smart, but neither of them figured out that that he's getting drugged, all of a sudden he gets better.
Right.
I feel like they would have.
Yeah.
They're either in denial, or they're just
It's a plot hole.
don't think. Yeah, a little bit.
But the mother ends this phase saying, "And soon you'll show them you're a genius, and soon the whole world will know. And so you show them what life really is. One day they'll know."
Stick around. We'll be right back to the show on Disney Channel.
Hi, Ayreonauts. Well, not only was I able to recruit Keith Emerson for this album, I also managed to get my other hero, the legendary Rick Wakeman, to play piano and synthesizer for me. Well, I grew up listening to his music, so it is a huge honor for me. So, have a listen.
You know what I wrote down in my notes for that?
Okay.
Titanic vibes. Did it not sound like the Titanic theme a little bit?
I
don't know. The penny whistles.
yeah, maybe. It's kind of that soft. Does seem not like it doesn't fit
I don't know. I like it.
with no. I mean, like the previous story was them like, yeah, destiny awaits. We're changing. We're healing, and then now it's all suddenly.
Well, this is
calm
definitely
and
the
slow.
point where you're supposed to take a break between the two, parts, right?
Yeah.
You had to switch the CD out with CD2 or turn the record over
Yeah.
or pull up the new record and get it over. Yeah.
So I guess a little transition from.
Yeah. All right, and that kicks off our next phase here, which is phase 3, entanglement. Is that a physics word?
And quantum entanglement is kind of a thing.
Okay.
What physics did you take in college?
None.
None.
None physics.
You didn't take any physics? Did you take it in high school?
No.
Oh,
I took physics in middle school.
we should start.
And determined that I did not like it.
We should start a podcast. Michael teaches Rod physics.
But yeah, the first real movement is called transformation. That little instrumental portion was called fluctuations. The teacher has become the prodigy's closest friend. He is glad to see the prodigy's progress, but he can't help wondering if something unhealthy might be behind it. See, he's smart.
Yeah.
Regardless, he is determined to help the prodigy, who is having trouble finding his bearings in the strange new world that the drug is revealing to him.
Presumably, he's also meeting with the therapist, even though they never show that.
Maybe.
He's taking his drug. You'd think the therapist would want to have a weekly therapy session.
Maybe the mom said, "We're not meeting with that quack anymore."
I guess
'cause
maybe.
he's trying to push this dark medicine on my son.
Yeah, so maybe
know.
therapist is just out of the
He's
picture.
writing prescriptions under the table for this drug.
Experimental.
But yeah, the teacher definitely, he's smarting. He's smarting up. He sees what's going on. I don't mean to interfere, but I see quite a change in you. The distant gaze has disappeared. The brilliant light behind your eyes is shining through.
I don't mean to interfere, but I see quite a change in you.
Yeah, it seems like the second teacher saying, "Life doesn't have to be mystery. You can live my dream and scale the heights I could never reach."
Telling me I'm glad to have such a mind to teach. Life doesn't have to be a mystery. You can live my dream and scale the heights I could never reach. We can play a part, changing history. Our time is here.
Right.
So it's kind of like almost a fatherly role, and like you're trying to pass the torch and make your son better, much
And-
more healthy than his actual father.
Yes. And the prodigy asks him, like, I want to live, but I don't know how. I need someone to help me find my way. So he is asking the teacher for that help. And the teacher's like, you can count on me. I'm glad to have such a mind to teach.
Yeah, the teacher kind of takes over as sort of the father, as the father is just trying to use his son.
And here's the teacher being smart, right? Like, it's unusual, such a transformation overnight. I don't want to scare you, but it can't be right.
I have to say it's unusual. Such a transformation overnight. I wouldn't have thought it was possible. I don't want to scare you, but it can't be right.
Well, I don't mind, 'cause I feel so.
Yeah, I think the prodigy is just like, I like it. I'm not going to think about it.
Yeah. That's totally flowers for Algernon. It's the same way. Like, I'm not going back after this.
Yeah.
All right, and so they set out. I noted that I really like the opening of the next movement, so I want to play it. It's called The Collision. Very spacey, very
Yeah.
video gamey.
I like when the guitars show up and it goes from like more spacey to harder rock.
It's good, and it didn't have a very annoying abrupt start.
Nope.
So yeah. Anyway, as the prodigy's confidence soars, he is finally able to stand up to the rival, and here we have the kind of a showdown between them. I find this scene very interesting because I'm looking at it from a flowers for Algernon kind of way, where the main character is given this drug. He's no longer this like isolated, closed off individual. Like he's, more human, traditionally human in a way,
Yeah.
right? But then he becomes a jerk.
Yeah.
And I see the prodigy becoming a jerk here, right? He instigates this. We don't know what
Yeah.
happened before this scene. We know that he's been antagonized by the rival for so long. But I think it's interesting that this movement starts with the prodigy confronting the rival.
Yeah.
I
Calling
can't
him insignificant.
I can't believe I never saw how insignificant you are.
I can't believe I never saw how insignificant you are. You're outshined in every way. Well, you were such a genius, it didn't get you very far. I prove you wrong, my mind's growing stronger each day. No, you won't deceive me.
Savage.
This is like a nerdy battle with the words.
Yeah, it's a rap battle.
You're such a genius. You didn't get you very far. But if they're in high school, where else is he gonna go? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Right.
I still feel like I've always just thinking they're in college, and this kind of is going on.
That's lame. I was like, you're adults. Grow up.
Yeah, which I guess makes a lot of this a little bit cheesier.
I thought this was fascinating. There is a portion where there is a unison between them. They sing together, and they sing the words, "No, you won't deceive me. You're nothing but a fake. You're a sad pretender trying to take my place," which is a callback to a line that the rival said in an earlier song. I thought it was interesting that they sang it together now.
No, you won't deceive me. You're nothing but a fake.
right? So this, I thought that was the song saying the prodigy is becoming like the rival. Like he's losing a little bit of his like innocence, you know?
Yeah. He's becoming
Just as
less
cynical as-
innocent, more cynical, trying to stand up for himself.
More ruthless.
Yeah.
Great stuff. I love that. Calling him a fake pretender. Whatever.
There can only be one. I'm pretty sure that it's not you.
Who said that?
It's the rival said the first line, then the prodigy responds
Ah,
with the second line.
savage.
There can only be one. I'm pretty sure that it's not you. Mark these words, 'cause one day you'll see you will be needed.
See them out in the streets.
One day you'll see you will be needing me.
Oh, why isn't it ironic? The foreshadowing.
Mm.
Yeah, it does seem like I don't know. It like their rivalry and their hate for each other, it just seems kind of petty. And
Yeah.
like you both can be very smart and get on with your lives.
That's why I think they have to be in high school, because that's
Yeah.
where pettiness makes sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
What's-
I never had a situation like this in college. Like if someone acted this way in college, I think, oh, you're how immature are you? Like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you?
But I mean, there are a lot of very intelligent people in college who still act like that. And like in grad school, there were big rivalries of trying to get research done and stealing research and stuff at some of the
What is
elite
wrong
colleges.
with people?
I don't know. You want your name on the thing so you can be remembered and be recognized as the smart one. So
Yeah, I couldn't play that game.
yeah, that's why I'm glad I didn't go to like any place like MIT or UCLA, like all those bigger research places. Like sometimes professors steal from their students.
What?
I mean, that's kind of messed up.
It's totally messed up.
Yeah.
Goodness. All right. Anyway, we jump forward in time 3 years earlier. So now we're 3 years from 2012. So
2013.
Sorry. Yeah. So 3
2010.
years from 2013. So we got to be in 2010 now.
We're graduating high school.
All right. We're here. The psychiatrist comes to the father with disturbing news. And the therapist says to the father, "I'm afraid we've got a problem. The side effects have been confirmed. Severe psychosis and delusions. We have to stop the trial today."
I'm afraid we got a problem. The side effects have been confirmed. Severe psychosis and delusions. We have to stop the trial today. It's too dangerous.
So he's been taking it for 2 years
Yeah.
and no delusions so far.
Here they are.
What?
It was imperceptible at first, then it got worse and worse, maybe.
Maybe I mean, it seems like he's doing his own official trials and found out you can have psychosis and delusions
Yeah.
as a side effect. But it seems like the prodigy is not being affected by that.
Well, it
as
does
of
remind
yet. I was just saying, as of yet, he doesn't seem to be suffering any side effects.
it does remind me of A Beautiful Mind. Have you seen that movie?
I don't think I have.
Russell Crowe's character, he's a real person. He's based on a real guy. And he was I can't remember what kind of scientist he was, but he had schizophrenia and he would see people that weren't real. And it gets worse and worse for him, like his just delusions get more and more frequent and, upset his life more and more. So I could see that coming into play here,
Yeah.
It's something you can manage at first, but then it just gets more and more harder to ignore.
Yeah. And I guess maybe he wouldn't know the delusions versus not delusions because of his upbringing.
Yeah. And then the therapist suggests that they have to tell the boy what's going on. And the father does it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Surprisingly.
that's growth, I think, or something. "Son, there's something I must tell you. I've been giving you a drug. I was convinced that it would help you. Can you forgive me for what I've done?"
Son, there's something I must tell you. I've been giving you a drug. I was convinced that it would help you. Can you forgive me what I've done?
And what does the prodigy say?
No, how could you live with that? Deceiving your own son to serve yourself. You can go to hell.
not sorry, the tracking again. You can go to hell.
Oh, could you live with that? Deceiving your own soul to serve yourself. You can go to hell.
It's funny the lyrics on what I'm looking at doesn't break it up
Right,
like that,
I know.
which is smart, but it's kind of funny.
But yeah, so the Prodigy's not, not down with what his father did to him.
I understand why the Prodigy is obviously getting force-fed a drug is bad, but he
Yeah.
seems to be happy that he's better. So it's kind of like, you can't be that mad at your dad.
He's conflicted.
Yeah.
Before we jump to the next instrumental portion, actually, I wrote that guitar solo for Side Effects. Really good. I want to play it.
What have we done?
I don't know. Very Pink Floyd. Love it.
Yes, I was going to say the same thing. David Gilmour type
Yeah.
solo.
I really dug that. But yeah, I actually have a note on the next instrumental, so I want to introduce that one as well. Instrumental is called Frequency Modulation. You can hear some, so it's like synth and orchestra mixed together, and that's a live orchestra. That's real. I learned this from the album, but The Theory of Everything features orchestration from Dutch film composer Sid Barnhorn. I didn't recognize any of his credits, but legit orchestra
Yeah.
in here. I thought it works really well in these instrumental portions.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of notes on the instrumentation for this phase 3, actually, because the next movement is called Magnetism. And again, I really like the vibe.
Now I told you everything. Now there's nothing.
Some Celtic vibes going on.
Yeah, I really like that.
That's something that Ayreon does a lot in all his albums. The world music influence, like some albums have didgeridoos, for example.
And
Yeah.
the mandolin, I think, is in that song. I
Yeah.
like that. How he
like-
uses that.
The violin is very Celtic.
Yeah.
Yeah, really like that. But as the devastated Prodigy rushes to school to find the teacher, he runs into the girl and the rival. He explained that he's left home because his father has been secretly dosing him with a drug.
Kind of curious that the rival and the girl are hanging out.
Yeah.
It seemed like I thought she didn't like him.
When I was listening to this on my way to work, the rival was in this portion, and I was like, why are you even here?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
I just thought it was him like stepping in, overhearing.
Overhearing it?
But it sounds like they were together already, or maybe he just ran into him.
Maybe. I
Separately.
kind of like the idea that he just like stepped into a conversation. He was eavesdropping.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I told you everything. Now there's nothing more to hide. I've got nowhere else to go. Can I stay with you tonight? The Prodigy asking the girl, can I stay at your place?
Now I told you everything. Now there's nothing more to hide. I've got nowhere else to go. Can I stay with you tonight?
After all that you've been through, how could
See, this is where they have to be over the age of 18. Like, is she just saying, "Oh, this 10th grade boy is gonna come to my house"?
I thought you
Like-
said they were like near graduation though. Maybe they're 18.
I guess 2 years later, so I guess now they're seniors, but still a senior is still probably living with their parents. Do they are they freshmen in college now? Maybe,
Maybe.
and she has an apartment that he's gonna go stay with.
Possibly.
But he was living with his parents,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
And then the girl, of course, says, of course, after all you've been through, how could I turn you away? And the rival, here he comes, stepping into the conversation, telling the girl, don't believe it, don't be a fool.
We were always meant to be. I don't care what people say.
Don't you believe it? Don't be a fool. Manipulate you is all he wants to do. He will deceive you. You're being used. Don't let him play you. All he wants to do, he wants to be with you.
I don't understand what the rival's like. What is he manipulating her for? Like,
This is
who is he
weird.
fooling? The rival's attacks don't seem to line up to what's going on.
Especially given their age. They're like, dude, grow up. What's your problem?
He really likes his girl.
I noted the Prodigy says, the meds create a perfect world, patterns, purpose, clarity. How will I ever live without? What should I do?
Let's create a perfect world. Patterns, purpose, clarity. How will I ever live without? What should I do? What's happening to me?
Don't you worry, it's alright.
And the girl just wants to keep him safe and protect him and take care of him.
Together we can beat this before the damage goes too far. Yeah. This is the point where the album where I told you the timeline gets condensed and things just happen quickly and it's almost like we're missing key context, but suddenly things are just happening at a rapid fire pace.
Yeah.
Because the next movement is called Quid Pro Quo. And it's the rival coming to the Prodigy with a proposition.
Oh, is that this part already?
Yeah. Already.
Yeah, it seems like they were hating each other, and all of a sudden the rival's like, I need you.
The rival saying, "Let's make a deal. I'll get you what you need. You know I'm a brilliant chemist."
That sounds like he's an adult now.
Yeah.
Like they're adults. He's like working as a chemist somewhere.
Or he's a first year chemistry student.
Yeah. I guess maybe they're super smart, so they skipped maybe college or parts of college.
The timeline's not making much sense, is it?
How old are these people?
But yeah, so the rival says he can duplicate the drug that the Prodigy has been taking, and so if the Prodigy wants that supply of drug, then he needs to help the rival out. And the Prodigy, of course, says, "Count me in. I'll do anything you want."
Let's make a deal. I'll get you what you need. You know, I am a brilliant chemist. I can duplicate your drug, but my offer has a price. If you want a new supply, you have to help me. Count me in. I'll do anything you want. But isn't it ironic? The fates must be laughing. Your greatest enemy is the one who holds the key. What do you need from me?
And I think along with that cooler line, the line, but isn't it ironic? The face must be laughing. Your greatest enemy is the one who holds the key. What do you want from me? I feel like it's kind of a cringy,
Yep.
like
Yep.
you're just calling out the irony. It's not very,
It's very text, not subtext.
yeah. And then I think this whole song is the lyrics are not. I think it's to get the story going to that the next part. It's kind of needed.
Very shoehorned, for sure.
Like I find a way to infiltrate the banks if you can break their algorithms and bypass their systems. I don't think that's how banks work.
I found a way to infiltrate the banks. If you can break their algorithms and bypass their systems, there's millions to be made, and all without a trace. We can lose
And also, it's like this whole time, I'm not exactly sure what the Prodigy's like focus is. We've been told it's like physics, right? You know,
Yeah.
we talk about string theory and stuff. Like, as a physicist, how good are you at like coding algorithms to break banks?
I mean, I can code and know math, but if you're breaking an algorithm, it's probably. But he's intelligent. He's like savant level.
Yeah, but
knows
like, can you
everything.
just drop any physics, into a computer science, environment? Would they succeed like just automatically?
I think it depends on the physicist. I did a lot of programming in my degree, and so I know programming, but I don't know programming on the level of like an actual computer science major. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it wouldn't be like a.
that's
But-
not the first guy you'd go to.
Yeah, but I don't think he's asking him to do computer science. He's asking him to break algorithms. So it's more like a mathematical equation he has to figure out, and that's what he's asking the Prodigy to do.
I don't know. It sounds like hacker stuff to me.
Yeah, I don't. Because in real life, the hacking would be sending a phishing email to someone at the bank,
Yeah.
and hopefully they click on it.
Or just fishing grandma and getting her bank information.
Yeah. So, but this just sounds cooler. You have to be. If you're super smart, you can do anything you want.
This
and
is
just
where
break into the banks.
The album loses itself here. Like, I think it kind of loses what kind of story it's trying to tell, because this whole bank heist thing is brought up and happens immediately.
Yeah.
We'll come to it. It gets over and done with by the end of this phase. It's like
Yeah.
a thing that happened.
Yeah, I think it's just so they can get to the lighthouse, which it does seem like the last part.
It should have just
It's
been
not
like
as grounded as previous parts.
it should have just been a physical crime. Like, I don't need you to break the bank's algorithms. I need you to, hey, help me break into the vault or steal something. Just have it be a petty crime that they commit.
But I think you have to have the rival need the Prodigy specifically. He could have just chose any henchman or guy
I
to
guess
just break
so.
in and use a gun or whatever. So you need some super intelligent mind to break it. Well, it's probably a factoring algorithm,
Okay.
which as they all use RSA.
There's millions to be made, all without a trace. We can't lose here. And apparently, the Prodigy has a freaking big mouth, because he tells the girl what's going on, and she says, "This can't be true. Now who's being used? Don't let it end this way. Don't let me down."
This can't be true. Now who's being used? Don't let it end this way. It hurts me to tell you. You're gonna have to do what you really wanna do.
Who's being used before? It seems like the Prodigy is always the one being used
True.
by his father, mainly, then now the rival.
All we know is that the next movement is an instrumental, and it's called String Theory, and it does have flavor text. It says, "The Prodigy faces his own dilemma. Should he do something he knows is wrong, and even risk losing the girl to get the drug?" I was like, you're risking more than that, man. Risking your freedom. The very drug that made his new life possible. Hoping that the girl will understand, he agrees to help the rival.
Yeah, and it's just, we succeeded.
The next movement, which is called Fortune, with a question mark. Our plan has succeeded. We are rich beyond belief.
Yeah, it's sort of just,
We've got
we have
more.
money.
We've got more than we ever needed. We're free to live out our dream. Yeah. This again. Just how long did that take?
Yeah. I guess if you just already know the algorithm, you just, spend a day hacking. That's what the movies do.
I guess so, and they did it.
And they got untraceable wired money.
And this phase ends with the girl kicking the Prodigy to the curb.
I wonder how many days or months he stayed at her house.
Yeah, I mean it was less than a
Seemed-
year,
Yeah.
but I won't be part of this nightmare. I cannot live with what you've done. Get out of my life, she says. And this phase ends with the Prodigy saying, "What have I done? Now she's gone.
What have I done? Now she's gone. What have I done? Now she's gone.
So now he's on his own again.
Yep.
And now it's jumped 3 months ago.
3 months ago. So we're in 2013. So it's been 3 years since then?
Yeah, I think it's been 3 years.
Yep. The last phase of the theory of everything is titled unification. Yep. First movement of this phase is called Mirror of Dreams. This is like classic Ayreon stuff, by the way. This is like such a classic Ayreon song. It just sounds like Ayreon. But the girl has not seen the prodigy since she told him to leave. She reaches out to his mother for comfort, wondering if there wasn't more she could have done. You know what I would know what I put for that when I said that these two characters are talking?
What?
I was like, does this album pass the Bechdel test? It does not. Almost. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, two women talking, but they're talking about
A man.
a man. But
Almost.
it's not romantic, though.
No, but they are talking about a man and his
Yeah,
needs.
I guess that's true.
But for some reason, this whole conversation strikes me as a Lori suggestion. You know, like I think this is like the woman's touch. Well, these two
Yeah.
female characters should talk to each other about this.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's the two people who actually care about him
Yeah.
and want the best for him
Yeah.
coming together.
So I appreciate that this scene is here.
Yeah.
But yeah, the girl talking about how she still sees the prodigy everywhere she goes. His eyes still haunt me. If only I had done more. Maybe I gave up on him too soon.
I feel a shadow looming over me, leaving me defeated and confused. His eyes still haunt me. If only I'd done more. Maybe I gave up on him too soon. I share your sorrow.
And I think to myself, no.
You don't think so? I mean, he was technically off the drugs when he was tricked by the rival. So maybe he was
True.
just asocialness was like, oh, I have to say yes.
Creeping back.
Yeah, I don't know.
The mother knows what's up.
Yeah.
She says, I share your sorrow, but you are not to blame. His heart has always been a mystery.
And they repeat that, I guess, refrain, chorus.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never fathom, we'll never understand. Did he never need us? Were we real? Or mere reflections in a mirror of dreams?
We'll never fathom, we'll never understand. Did he ever need us? Were we real? Or mere reflections in a mirror of dreams?
That's an interesting, kind of meditation on who we are to those who are kind of like wrapped up in themselves. you know?
Yeah.
Were we even real to him? Yeah.
It kind of like puts him up on this, like, he's so intelligent out there above us that are we just dreams to him?
Or isolated,
Yeah.
And I mean, the mother could be saying this about her own husband. It's like,
Yeah.
am I real to you?
Yeah. But I don't think she cares about her husband that much.
She's still with him.
Well, being with someone doesn't necessarily mean you love them. Sometimes you just have to stick with someone because divorce sucks.
But mother says it's up to him now. There's nothing we can do. I fear we cannot give him what he needs.
What holds his future? How will he survive without us to save him from himself? Where has he run to? Will he return? I hope he knows I wish him well. It's up to him now. There's nothing we can do.
He's on his own.
I do feel like this song, unless there's flavor text say otherwise, should be flipped with the next one. Because you're kind of wondering, where is he? You know,
Yeah.
what he's been doing for the last 3 years. But that doesn't get explained till after.
True. Ayreon, I think a lot of the times he likes to start some of his like big pieces with like some soft, moody music and then have the females sing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like his thing. So it just fits the Ayreon style to have
Okay.
these two characters talk. But next movement is called The Lighthouse, and it tells you where he's at. After being rejected by the girl, the prodigy turns to his only friend, the teacher. The prodigy needs a safe place where he can work on the theory of everything and take time to sort himself out. The teacher knows of a perfect place. There's an old, renovated lighthouse up for sale. After pulling off the bank scam with the rival, money is no object. The prodigy buys the lighthouse and retreats there, virtually going off the grid. The teacher is the only one who knows his whereabouts and checks on him every day.
Why do you think he chose a lighthouse?
Knowledge, Michael.
Is that supposed to be a
Yeah, it's a metaphor.
analogy or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's
It's a symbol.
the concept art for the album has a lighthouse in it, and it looks really good.
That's the cover art.
Yeah,
Is a lighthouse.
yeah,
But you know, like think of the symbol of the lighthouse, like being out in the fog, out at sea, right? Like the only way for you to know where you're going is
Yeah.
that little light, you know, piercing through the mist.
but that's more of like a symbol for guidance. Like
Sure.
if you're a lighthouse, you're guiding other people.
But I feel like everyone in this whole album, they're all kind of lost, searching for something. That's a human condition, Michael.
Yeah,
Searching for your purpose.
yeah. I guess every character has their own like reason to live,
Yeah.
purpose to fulfill
Yep.
that they each gotta work out. Really need a sequel to this album where we find where everyone else goes.
Sometimes those things are better left to the
Yeah,
imagination.
that's
But,
true.
Anyway, the teacher visits the prodigy in his lighthouse. Teachers tell him it's time to put things into perspective, find your way again.
It's time to put things in perspective. Find your way again. Let me take you to a lighthouse where you can hide away.
Let me take you to the lighthouse. Yep. So this is kind of like maybe a flashback or whatever to when he's leading him to his new
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, it's kind of like in between the 5 years ago and 3 months.
If you're troubled by the visions, the chaos in your mind, if the voices start to whisper, call me, day or night.
If you're troubled by the visions, the chaos in your mind. If the voices start to whisper, call me day or night.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's weird that it's not weird, but the prodigy has like a father and the teacher, but he's still like, I need to show my father. I need to show them all. I am the one. He still wants to prove to his actual father that he can find the theory of everything. That's like his
Daddy
goal.
issues.
Yeah,
It's like a common theme in a lot of media. Daddy issues.
yeah.
Dad guilt. Dad guilt. I can bring it back, Michael. The father has dad guilt.
But the father doesn't have dad guilt. The son has dad problems. The father doesn't have any guilt
Please.
because he hasn't been in the story for a while.
True. Okay, we'll have to see.
He confessed, and then he's been out.
All right, we'll have to see if we get any other hints of dad guilt then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to play the kind of exchange because it's a conversation between the prodigy and the teacher at the end.
Don't worry, I'll be fine. I'm gonna make the theory shine. I need to show my father. I need to show them all. I am the one. I'll find the equation. Theory of everything.
I don't know. I just like that.
I like in any album or song where it's switching between two different voices.
Yeah.
And I think Ayreon does that a lot. I think he does it pretty well,
Very well.
especially when it's male female, like going
Yeah.
back and forth.
Anyway, the argument 2 is up next, and obviously it's how long is this one? Is it freaking 25 seconds? It's 49 seconds. It's the mother and father, and this is where she finally comes to her senses. The tension between the mother and father comes to a head, and they're arguing about the whereabouts of the boy.
Without him, it's all over. We've got to bring it over again. He doesn't want to see you. Can't you get that through your head? But you can make him listen.
Father is desperate, saying we need to bring him home again
Yeah, he wants his son back to
for
be
one
used.
reason.
Yeah,
And she says he doesn't want to see you knucklehead. And he says, but you can make him listen. All he needs is one more chance. So it's almost like he's manipulating his wife again.
do you think? I mean, it could be dad. Maybe he's felt bad and he's changing his behavior, and he's like, "We need our son back. We need to bring him back. I need
No,
another chance to love him."
I don't believe it.
You don't think he's
No.
going through that?
No. That could have been a reading that made sense if we got indications that he was showing remorse before this, but I don't see it.
I mean, the confession, he actually told him, and
A little
that was
bit.
a good thing.
It's not enough for me, man.
Not enough for you. Okay.
And she does it, finally. What does she do?
They, I guess, divorce, or she
Wait
leaves him.
a minute. The next portion is called The Parting, and it establishes that takes place yesterday, right? So as in, like, it's 2013 now, right? The
Yeah.
day before the opening blackboard scene where they find the prodigy, like,
Yeah.
lifeless and shaking or whatever, yesterday. So it's still been like a year or 3 months.
So I feel like the previous song is like a
Where have they been?
condensation, like what would you a montage of the 3 months of them
Okay.
fighting and arguing,
Fair.
not necessarily like one 1 minute argument.
Okay, well, anyway, after months of fruitless arguments with the father, the mother finally takes action. She leaves him.
Yep, finally leaves him. She's all done. He'll never change.
I'm leaving you. No tears left to cry. You'll never change. I made up my mind. This is goodbye.
And so it ends. It's time to let go. My spirit is crushed, forsaken and cold. I'm leaving you. No tears left to cry. You'll never change. I made up my mind. This is goodbye. So this is the end.
And I agree with her. He'll never change.
So when you first listened to this album, at the very end of this song, something happens that they don't actually say what happens.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ending this pain. There's no other way. Only one thing left to do. Did you get what he was doing the first time you listened? Or
He's playing the guitar. He's playing guitar solo. No. I was actually like, when I first listened to it, the story lost me. Like, I feel like that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
You just like lose the story. You're just like, I don't know what's going on. So I had no idea. And then I read the Wikipedia synopsis, and then I heard it again. I was like, oh, he, spoilers, took his life.
Yeah. I mean, they say that straight out, like in a couple songs
Right,
near the
right.
end.
But you're not supposed to know it yet.
Yeah. It's going to be kind of imply. Well, I think one thing left to do is implying that he's going to go see his son.
Maybe.
And that's what happens.
It's ambiguous. Yeah.
So it's sort of in a quantum state of two different things that could be happening.
Right. But was it his Schrodinger's dad?
Sure. Yeah. That's what, yeah.
The father. So his wife leaves him, and he's still like, the first thing he says is, "So this is the end. How can I go on? My dreams unfulfilled, and now I'm alone." Like, he still cares about his dreams,
Yeah.
as if like, oh well, I messed up my family,
Yeah.
I made a mistake, you know.
Like if he would have found the theory of everything, his life would have been right and good.
And like that's not the lesson, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the lesson. It's you should have been there for your family. But I don't know, man. I'm reading the lyrics here. I don't think it's really all that ambiguous what he does next. No reason to live. I'm ending this pain. There's no other way.
So this is the end. How can I go on? My dreams unfulfilled. Now I'm alone. I let them down. I push them away. No reason to live. I'm ending this pain. There's no other way.
That's
Yeah.
so obvious what he's doing.
Yeah, obvious. But then once you listen to the Nick song, he obviously isn't taking his life because he's showing up
Sure.
to his son. So
Okay.
I'm going to talk about that next.
I will, but I do have to say this. 220. I'm gonna play it because we have another special guest. Our last special guest, I believe, of the album. It's not a keyboard player; it's a guitar player. Any guesses on who that is?
Got James LeBrie and Jordan Rudess. Is it John Petrucci?
No.
No, okay.
It's Steve Hackett of the band Genesis.
Oh, I like Steve Hackett.
So, just kind of, he's got someone from Yes, someone from ELP, and someone from Genesis. You know, like all the big prog rock heavy hitters of the day, you know.
It was almost a super group.
It almost is, you know. So it's a greatest hits of prog superstars here.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had to shout him out before we move on. But yes, The next song is called The Visitation, which that word has it implies a like spectral visit, not a physical one. Like most people say, oh, I experienced a visitation last night, right? Like you're not talking about like, oh, Michael came to visit last night. It's, I saw a ghost.
I think maybe in America, but I think in England, don't they say like, I went to go visit someone?
Well, yeah,
like,
but
they
we
use
say
the word visit a little differently.
we say visit, but the word visitation
I guess,
specifically.
yeah. Should it be like the visit?
The
instead of
visit would have
visitation?
worked.
Would have been less spectrally.
Yes. Anyway, last night, so this is the night before the first Blackboard scene, the prodigy has been working on the theory of everything for months. He's totally exhausted, but is sure that the final missing piece is just around the corner. Then one evening, he gets an unexpected visitor. Who is it?
The father
The father.
in the flesh? Question
He's,
mark.
he's down here on his knees, feeling the weight of shame. How could he have done this to him, his son?
I'm down here on my knees, feeling the weight of shame. How could I have done this to you, my son? I can't believe my eyes. Is it really you? Why should I forgive you after all you've done? I was driven and blind.
So the weight of shame, you know,
Yeah.
that implies change. Again, it's kind of empty if you know how the story ends.
Yeah, which it's hard to talk about some of these songs without.
All right, so we spoiled it already.
Going.
He's killed himself
Yeah.
in the previous song. So this is either a vision, it's either a real ghost, or it's like, you know,
Psychosis.
psychotic delusion in the prodigy's mind. You know, it's almost like a reflection of, I wish my father would come to me and say he was sorry. You know, so it's sort of like, if anything, a reflection of what the prodigy regrets about his life, not reconciling with his dad.
Yeah, which I think makes the most sense, but this album ends in a like ambiguous, ooh, what happened?
yeah.
We will never know.
Right.
But it's like he probably just was delusional
Yeah.
and like having delusions, but you want to have that mysterious ambiguous ending.
Right, you gotta have the mind screw.
Yeah.
Yeah, the prodigy doesn't believe it, and the father, of course, kind of says all the right things. I was driven and blind, not so unlike yourself, but we could still work together if you allow me. Contrite, all that junk. Yeah. And then here's the prodigy again, kind of seeming like a jerk again, right? Like he says, "Ha! I bet you are helpless without me."
Why should I give you a chance? Why should I trust you now? Ha, I bet you are helpless without me.
If we join our minds, then together.
I mean, that's a mean thing to say to some people, but his father was kind of helpless and kind of a jerk. I feel like he's just sort of...
Would you say that to someone who, like, if the father really was here and was demonstrating genuine remorse and contriment, right? Would your response be, "Ha, I bet you're just a loser. You're helpless without me. That's why you're here."
I mean, I wouldn't say that, but I think...
Or maybe
I understand why someone would say that after being hurt. They want to hurt the person back.
Or now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it's the prodigy, like, not believing him. Like, you expect me to believe that?
Yeah.
You're probably just too helpless and, you've sought me out.
Yeah, that's a fair reading.
And then we get a unison where they say, we both want to be the first. We both want to change the world. And they decide to do it. We'll solve this mystery, be part of history.
Together we can do this. We both want to be the first. We both want to change the world. We can work all night till we find out what the truth is. We'll solve this mystery, be a part of history.
Okay, I want to play this back and forth right here. Again, it's another conversation between both singers, but I find this one particularly fascinating.
I'm so damn close.
I'm feeling the
I
blight.
could use a hand.
Just give me this jab. We're on the verge of a breakthrough.
The meds help me to see.
It's too late to stop now.
I'll take just a few
Just till the answer is found. We can make it. We'll find the truth. Let's join our minds.
Let's join
It's our
our
destiny to do this.
We're
We're going to be the first. We're going to change the world. We'll work all night.
Just like a lot of times before, they're singing at each other and then they end in unison, singing together. But I think the words are very telling here. There's one point where the prodigy says, "I could use a hand," right? And then the father, "Just give me this chance," right? "I could use a hand from you," right? Almost like they're joining together, working together. It's an expression that people say. And then let's join our minds. Let's work together. Let's put our heads together to figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think of it from another angle, it's, we're in the same head because one of us is a delusion, right?
Yeah.
We're joining our minds literally because we are in the same person.
Yeah.
I
I don't know if that's purposeful necessarily. It's more coincidental, I feel like, of a writing.
It's still effective.
Yeah.
I think it definitely it emphasizes the point, kind of the twist at the end. That this is all happening within his mind. These two distinct personalities are existing in one person now.
Yeah. And they hint delusions as a side effect. And
Yeah.
also say he's taking more and more of the drug. So he's going to overdose at some point.
Yeah. And you said you liked this track a lot, which is the breakthrough, right?
Yeah.
Because of all the...
I like the physics where it's just being spat out.
isolate the graviton.
Verify that it's boson.
Demonstrate the tachyon.
Find the missing baryon.
Fight the wave of gravity.
Unravel supersymmetry.
Einstein's relativity.
Heisenberg's uncertainty.
kind of fun.
Are any of the are these presented accurately? Isolate the graviton. Verify the Higgs boson. Photons, hadrons, glutons. Are all of these things important
Yeah.
to what they're talking about?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, some of it's just like, words
That rhyme?
that are just like rhyme and they're physicsy. But some of them are like, the, what is it? Einstein's relativity meets Heisenberg's uncertainty. That's sort of the meeting of general relativity and quantum mechanics, quantum gravity, which is like a big physics mystery.
You almost said another verse you almost came up with a verse that would have fit the rhyme scheme there.
Oh, I did? I didn't even notice.
Physical relativity meets something gravity.
Quantum gravity. General relativity meets quantum gravity.
Yeah.
I guess it works. I think the only one that I don't know, but I didn't study much particle physics, is find the missing baryons, which I think is a thing with particle physics relating to also supersymmetry. So it's kind of all like vague physics problems and terms. It's not like he's not like, as opposed to like Ant-Man. Do you remember Ant-Man, the second one? Where everything was quantum gravity, quantum shrinking, quantum everything. They stuck quantum in front of everything.
No.
To say, this is how we do it. It's quantum this, and that's how we can do this thing. I feel like this is a lot better version of like throwing science at words at a wall, but it actually kind of works.
I'm looking at all these words and I'm like, I don't recognize almost any of these. I know what a neutron and a proton is, and an electron.
And the graviton, we haven't discovered. That's how gravity works.
Okay.
In particle physics. The Higgs boson is the Higgs field, which was a big discovery a little while ago. Photons is light. Hadrons are...
Hadron Collider?
It's a type of particle. Yeah, Hadron Collider. That's where it comes from. And I think I think protons are hadrons. I don't remember.
The gluon gun is in Half-Life.
But gluons are real. The gluons are, I think, mediate the strong force.
Could you harness it to be a gun to shoot aliens from Zen?
I mean, you make gluons in the Hadron Collider, so I guess in theory, if you shrink that down, I don't know what they would do. I think
it would destroy. It would destroy.
I guess it would
vaporize the enemy.
I guess if you the strong force is literally how protons and neutrons stick together. So if you shoot someone and disrupt that force, you would vaporize people. I guess that makes sense in like a sci-fi world. And fermions are another thing. Tachyons are theoretical, faster than light particles. So those are all real physics terms.
Sure.
But I wonder how much it's like him, because he loves sci-fi and he probably loves science, how much stuff he already knew based on what he's read versus him going, physics terms, physics things, fundamental particles, and just these things rhyme. Which is which.
All that to say at the end of the song, Eureka, we found it. We broke it. We did it. We cracked it. We got it. We nailed it.
If only that's how science worked.
Get really high, spend all night looking at the chalkboard, and then just writing
and be a
physics words.
Super savant.
Right. All right, and that's the triumphant end before the tragic fall at the end of the end of the album, at the end of the story. Because the next movement is called The Note. The prodigy is exhausted by his mental efforts and, on the verge of collapse, summons the last of his strength to write a note for his friend, the teacher. Michael, what does that note say?
Dear friend, my work here is done. Science has evolved. As the sun set on father and son, the mystery was solved. I'm broken, I'm falling apart, slowly fading away. I'm sorry, I took it all too far. Thank you for your faith.
Dear friend, my work here is done. Science has evolved. As the sun set on father and son, the mystery was solved. I'm broken, I'm took it all too far. Thank you for your faith.
That's nice and sad.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice concept until, I mean, I think the girl and the teacher are there at the beginning and they're there at the end,
Right.
discovering this, and they decide in the next song, just kind of erase everything.
Do they do that? Okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll have to see that. I didn't catch that at all. But, okay.
That's what I.
All right. The uncertainty principle. 8:03 this morning. Today. On his daily visit to the lighthouse, the teacher is stunned at what he finds. The prodigy is slumped in a corner, totally unresponsive, his hand clutching a crumpled note. The teacher reads the note and immediately phones the girl, who rushes over to the lighthouse. When she arrives, the teacher can hear her hurriedly saying goodbye to someone as she bursts into the room, fumbling to put away her phone. Her eyes are already red from crying, and a flood of new tears erupts when she sees the prodigy. She turns to the teacher to find out what happened. And he says, his mind took flight last night.
His mind took flight, and his eyes have lost their light. All we have to go on is a note. They changed the world last night, working together side by side. His father is the only one who knows.
You haven't been told.
Wait, so why is she crying
She just got
before
off the
entering
phone.
the room?
She just got off the phone with the mom. That's
Yeah.
revealed. That's revealed here.
Yeah, but why is she crying about the father's death? I feel like she didn't like the guy. Why would she like the guy or care? Why would she be crying? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe just a sympathetic. The mother's crying. She's crying.
Yeah, the teacher says they changed the world last night, working together side by side. His father is the only one who knows, what's going on. And the girl reveals it. Haven't you been told? That was his mother on the phone. There was a tragedy last night. The father can't have been here. It must have been some ghostly dream, for at the fall of day, he took his life.
You haven't been told. That was his mother on the phone. There was a tragedy last night. His father can't have been here. It had to be a ghostly dream. For at the fall of day, he took his
Dun, dun,
Oh,
dun.
that's the end of the song. It's really weird. I wish these songs were grouped together more, because I'm like, the next part is important.
What's the next part?
Isn't that? I mean, them grappling with, what are we gonna do?
There is another instrumental, and this one's called Dark Energy, and it has flavor text. It says, the prodigy clearly believed that his father helped him, but how is this possible? And of course, that transitions to the next thing, which is the Theory of Everything Part 3, which I believe is the last track, right? Or no, almost the last track. Penultimate. 9:46 this morning. So like an hour and a half later. Upon her arrival at the lighthouse, the mother breaks down at the sight of her catatonic son. She desperately needs to understand what happened there the night before. The mother says, they were seduced by the mystery. Something forbidden was uncovered here. You know what I thought when I read that? Jurassic Park. They were so concerned with could we do it and not should we do it.
Yeah, which I think is what the mother is thinking for some reason.
It's definitely a theme of the album, I think. Like, the pursuit of scientific truth. How far should we go?
Yeah.
At the expense of the greater things in life.
Yeah. And then there's the back and forth between the mom and girl.
My husband, my love, my son, all lost.
I do feel like it should be my son, my love.
Yeah.
My husband, all lost.
Yeah.
Because it kind of sounds like the husband is her love.
But
The
it's
way
not.
it goes back. Yeah. It goes back and forth in that order. Yeah, so the next line is, our world is not ready to know the theory of everything. And so I think that's when them deciding, like, the world isn't ready for this, so we're going to get rid of it.
Interesting. I did not hear that. I just thought like they were kind of lamenting the fact that all of this happened, I guess that's an interesting reading, you guys.
I'm not sure. What do you mean, like they're lamenting that they found the theory of everything?
No, they're just lamenting that because they found it, they've lost their lives. This pursuit for this thing killed them.
Both lost their minds in different ways.
Yeah, we need a future to build, and that we get that reprise again.
Yeah.
We need a future to build, a new role to fulfill. We've got something to give. We need a reason to live. So it's sort of, is it the quest for knowledge is better than the knowledge itself?
I guess that's what they're saying. I don't know why. Yeah, it seems weird. Looks like they reached their goal and they have the theory of everything. So they have the purpose and everything.
Okay, well, I'm reading ahead here, right? I don't think they erase the equation. The girls just leave because the album ends with the blackboard reprise and set in the present. So we're returning to the first scene. Everyone has left the lighthouse but the teacher. He stands staring at the blackboard, trying to make sense of the tangle of equations. And maybe when they say the world isn't ready to know the theory of everything, maybe it's like no one can understand this. Maybe the prodigy thought he found the answer, but none of them can understand it or read it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that could be the case. Where it's just a mess of equations, and it's there, but it's too complicated for anyone to understand yet.
Or it was a delusion in the first place that they found the answer that night.
I don't know. I think they found it. It's just what happened afterwards.
But then we get the big twist. I feel like he meant this as a big twist, like the big mind screw. How will we ever understand how two different hand styles came to grace this blackboard?
Will we ever understand how two different hand styles came to grace this blackboard? What unseen forces did conspire, uniting a father and his son.
What unseen forces did conspire, uniting a father and son?
Yeah, so which I think at first was like, oh, how did that happen? Mystery. But people who are delusional sometimes can emulate even things they don't know. Like people who get brain damage can suddenly speak in a different accent, or whatever. So I don't think it's hard to imagine him writing in two different hand styles.
I agree. Like it almost like became him.
Yeah.
And then that reminds me of The Beautiful Mind, where it's like, oh, this guy like sees these other people and they interact with the world differently, or like split.
Yeah. So I wonder. So you think the theory of everything's still there? They didn't get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's just not comprehensible.
It's either that or they never actually found it. Which would be a tragedy in itself. All of this was for nothing. Which I think is honestly maybe the point of the story anyway, no matter how you read it. It was like, was this worth it?
Yeah.
It seems like all this tragedy and heartbreak and neglect was kind of for nothing.
Yeah, in the end, because it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. And then there's a whisper outro. Did you catch that?
Yeah, you can't really understand it, I think, in the album.
I have the words.
Yeah.
The integral from 0 to infinity. ... Help me.
Which I don't understand what that's supposed to mean.
That doesn't make sense to the physicist in you?
I mean, I understand what integral from 0 to infinity is, but what does the help me? Who's saying it, I guess, is the question.
I don't know.
Do you know who's credited as the voice?
No.
Because it kind of I guess the prodigy, he's saying he's still kind of reaching out. He's still alive.
Could be.
Wants help.
What's the integral from 0 to infinity? Is it just like...
I mean, you've done integrals.
Yeah, but I mean, just the sum of it all? Like, is it...
Yeah, it depends what they're integrating. Integral from 0 to infinity of what?
Help me.
Help me. Of
Help me with my math homework.
I guess it is sort of like a everything, all-encompassing
Yeah.
kind of, maybe that's what it's trying to imply. And it is, yeah, I feel like, even though this isn't necessarily a part of the rest of any of his albums, it is it could be a part of it.
Yeah, it's just
It's
a
not
story
necessarily-
that takes place.
Yeah, and it has that mysterious ending where it's like you could connect it to the other weird cosmic things happening.
Very true.
And in order to time travel and send music to a guy in the past, you probably need to know the theory of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, so the prodigy and his father were important players in the establishment of the actual fantasy machine
Yeah.
and whatever else.
The blackboard was found and someone deciphered it.
Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's the conclusion of the theory of everything. What'd you think of it? I guess a question I always ask. Would you recommend this album?
Yeah, I think anyone who likes good progressive music or has an interest in science fiction stuff, I think they would like it.
It is among the 3 most approachable Ayreon albums, I think.
Yeah.
Especially like there's the more story focused ones, right? Like this is the most approachable, other than the Human Equation. I feel like those 2 are the most approachable that lean most on story.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the Universal Migrator Part 2 is probably the most approachable musically, just because it's just songs and they all just kind of fit a theme. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recommend it. Sounds great.
Yeah.
It's pretty well written. It's fun. I know we pretty much went in depth on the lyrics and everything, but
Yeah.
I think it's a good time. I do agree. It's a fun listen, just one phase at a time. Don't be afraid of a 20-minute track.
And I think it's approachable in that has the metal but clean vocals.
Yeah.
And they're good sounding vocals. So most people at least will find it pleasant to listen to.
For sure. And just great instrumentation all around.
Yeah.
I think it's a dynamic album. It moves a lot, but it's still... I mean, we caught it. There are a lot of like callbacks and choruses that, repeat and stuff like that. It is its own single piece that works all together.
Yeah. So I do think, because I remember first time hearing it, I was like, oh my God, this is like my favorite album of all time. And then as subsequent listens, it's like, oh, this is still a good album, but it's not my favorite of all time.
Yeah.
Because it's very good, but it's not like as deep as like The Wall or some other concept albums that are more like ambiguous and like more depth, but still a really great
Yeah, I think so.
album.
What did the world think? I have a bit of critical reviews and sales stuff, actually. Theory of Everything peaked at number 13 on the Billboard Heatseekers album chart, which is pretty good, and cracked the top 100 in Australia, Belgium, Finland, Germany, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, and the Netherlands, where it peaked at number 3.
That's pretty good for
His home country
album, yeah.
coming out for him. The album received universal acclaim from critics who praised its instrumental sections, songwriting, story, and the performances of the cast. Metal Mouth, for example, gave the album a perfect rating of 10 out of 10, stating, quote, a massive undertaking that completely pays off. It draws from many genres and gives you so much more than you'd ever expect, leaving you with a sense of overwhelming calm. This album is essential listening. It's prog perfection, and for that, I have to salute everyone involved. My Global Mind called it, quote, a masterpiece filled with many different musical styles, 7 strong guest singers, many guest musicians, and an unforgettable story that's sure to take you on an emotional ride. In short, it delivers everything an Ayreon album should ever deliver, then it goes one step further. And Metal Injection called the album, quote, the most musically diverse offering Lucasen had a hand in, perhaps the exception of his solo record. Listeners should treat it as a proper musical or film in a theater. Try to experience it all in one sitting for the full effect. It's absolutely worth it if you survive. I added that last bit.
Oh, okay.
Because he said, like, don't listen to it all in one go. You may die.
I do think out of all the concept albums I've listened to, this one could be turned into like a movie.
Yeah.
Where you nearly just play the album and have like people act out, all the scenes.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that would fit.
A stage musical for sure.
Yeah, which they did the Human Equation.
They did.
I don't know why they don't do this album. I feel like it'd be easier.
They've done it might be in the works. You never know. They've done the Human Equation and Electric Castle as stage
yeah.
musicals. So maybe one day.
Maybe, hopefully. And hopefully it'll come to America too.
Yeah. Last review, on the flip side, Sputnik Music said, quote, "From a storyline and lyrical point of view, The Theory of Everything fails to focus on the introspective and emotional dialogue the way The Human Equation did. Despite the, quote, dazzling and intriguing and, quote, incredibly well-arranged instrumental sections." So
Yeah, I think it's a fair review.
I think so.
What would you, I guess, give it out of 10?
Musically, it's like a 9 or 10 out of 10. Like it's just like it's a fantastically produced and arranged and composed and performed album musically. The lyrics and story, I think, like they're strong, but I would just give it like a 7 out of 10 maybe, like best concept albums ever made, like Dark Side of the Moon's lyrics are like impeccable. Like they're universal. They stand the test of time. 50 years later, they still resonate, I don't know if this one even resonates today. It does to some extent.
To small sectors of people trying to find the theory of everything.
I was like, we could relate to the, being hyper focused on a goal and neglecting your family and feeling threatened by others, like those are universal human things. But I sometimes this is a little too corny.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Cliche even. Like these are a lot of cliche characters.
Yeah.
They have some depth. They're not like two-dimensional completely, but they are cliches.
Yeah, I think I would agree. So it'd average out to be like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, that's fair. And it's one of his strongest albums for sure.
Yeah.
It might just be his best.
It's my personal favorite of his albums.
And what of the legacy of The Theory of Everything? A few things. On December 18th, 2013, 2 months after the album's release, and I mentioned this, Lucasen released on YouTube a free version of the album with all vocals sung by Wilmer Warbrook. However you say it. That's the guest, the guy who did all the guide vocals.
Yeah.
And in September 2017, Ayreon embarked on its first official concert tour, dubbed Ayreon Universe. That tour featured Tommy Karavik, the prodigy, Michael Mills, the father, and Marco Hayetala, the rival, each reprising their respective roles, performing a selection of tunes from The Theory of Everything, alongside newcomers Marcella Bovio from Stream of Passion and Annika van Giersbergen from The Gathering.
She's really good. He's on another one of his albums.
Oh,
I think called A Gentle Storm.
I don't think I've heard that one.
It's actually really good.
Well, they all sang songs from The Theory of Everything, in addition to other tracks from across the catalog. Recordings of these shows were collected in the 2018 Ayreon Universe, the Best of Ayreon Live album, which I did listen to. It was very good. And where did Ayreon go from here? Well, Arjen Lucassen returned to the main Ayreon storyline with the 2017 album The Source, which I listened to like last week. It was good. James Labrie comes back to play the main character.
Oh, he does? I didn't remember. I've listened to it, but it was a long time ago.
Very Matrix.
Yeah.
Very much the Matrix. And he followed that up with another standalone concept album titled Transistus in 2020.
I think I missed that one.
That's
I
the
don't remember
latest
that
one.
I'll have to listen to that.
Tommy Karavik and Michael Mills featured on both. So they're kind of like his boys now.
Yeah.
In 2025, Lucassen was knighted by the Order of the Netherlands Lion, quote, for his achievements in progressive rock and metal music.
Nice.
And the honors said, quote, his albums are truly unique, and hundreds of thousands of fans have created a unique community around his music. This makes him an ambassador for Dutch rock music. So that's rad. Good
Yeah.
for him.
That's sad that's only hundreds of thousands as opposed to like Taylor Swift is hundreds of millions.
Yeah. But either way, like he's put his mark on history.
Yeah.
You know, like all these characters on this album, they were all concerned with their legacy.
Yeah.
Ayreon, he, stayed true to himself, let others in,
Yeah.
fostered a community, and he left his mark on history.
I think he deserves it.
Yes. So as of right now, no Ayreon plans as of right now, but we'll see what happens. But we're almost done, Mike. I got one more thing I want to do because
Okay.
did you know you can't judge a music album by the music alone?
I knew that.
What else can you judge it on?
It's album art.
Album artwork.
Cover.
I wanted to examine the album artwork of Ayreon since I have it up. Do you have it on your phone? I have
I've
it.
seen it before.
Okay.
I don't have it.
Well, what are we looking at?
I would say it's like an abstract painting of the lighthouse.
Yes.
It's sort of far off from the ocean view.
Yes. The waves are very choppy. Mountains extending off into the distance.
Yeah, and it has very like harsh angled kind of lines to it.
Yeah.
Like feels like it's moving somehow.
And the theory of everything is written out in Latin letters, right? Or Greek letters. Those are Greek letters.
Yeah, I mean written out as in, but not actually written out. You know what I mean? It's not in Greek.
No,
It's
no.
just using Greek letters sort of to spell out the theory of everything.
Yeah, so you're going to get your epsilon for your E's. And
Yeah.
the artwork for this album was painted by Belgian artist Jeff Bertels, who has painted all of Ayreon's covers since the Electric Castle album.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I think because I also got some of the artwork and put it on my computer.
Yep.
As background stuff.
It's legit painting too.
Yeah.
Like I saw it framed. Like it's there.
really?
Like it exists.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know where they're keeping these things, but it'd be cool to see like a museum, like art exhibit with
Yeah.
all of the Ayreon originals.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, but that is Ayreon's Theory of Everything. We are finished. Thank you for putting up with us on this marathon episode of Mediamade.
You could just listen to the album probably faster than listen to this
fun.
podcast.
Yeah, we're having fun. It was cool.
Yeah.
It's always fun to like look into deep dives into albums that people aren't like maybe familiar with.
Yeah.
You know, and I hope people maybe got a taste of the Theory of Everything and want to go and listen to this in Ayreon. We got to pick what's next because I'd like to keep doing this. You know,
Yeah.
once a year, once every 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, something.
Whenever I'm in town.
Whenever you're in town and whenever I can make it happen. And it's been a while since we've recorded an episode of Mediamade, so this is like people's first episode in a while. So,
Yeah.
I believe it is my turn to choose, and I have one, and this one's actually a listener request.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which listener?
Are you familiar with Charlie Dominici?
Wait, really?
Yeah. So the late great Charlie Dominici, or Dominici as he might say.
Yeah.
He is the original singer of Dream Theater.
Yeah.
Well, their second singer technically, but like the first one to be featured on an album. Jess and I, when we talked 1989 albums, we talked about Dream Theater's debut, When Dream and Day Unite, and I tweeted at Charlie Dominici with some artwork that Jess had drew for him, and he took it upon himself to listen to that episode and tweet back at us, which I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
So he, in his tweet to me, listened to the thing and commented on some of the discussions that we had. And then at the end asked me, just said, hey, review 03, his trilogy of concept albums. That was a request he made.
Are you going to do all three or just the first one?
It would be an undertaking to do all three, but we should honor the man's wish because he did pass away recent, within the past few years.
Oh, I didn't hear that. That's sad.
So obviously rest in peace, Charlie. But I think as a tribute to him, it was a request.
Yeah.
We should review the first part of his trilogy of albums.
Yeah.
So we're gonna review 03 a trilogy part 1.
Okay. I don't think I've listened to a single thing he's done.
I was going to cheat and say we should just jump to part 2 because it's 3 albums. Parts 2 and 3 are proper progressive metal albums.
Mm-hmm.
Part 1 is not. It is a folk album featuring only him and his guitar.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So I was like, do we want to just skip over 1? No, we should honor Charlie in the way, we should give him the proper respect and review maybe all 3 one day, but we should definitely start with 1.
Yeah.
So we're going to, part 1.
Are they like 3 connected stories or is it 3 separate?
I don't know.
Okay.
We're going to learn together.
We'll find out.
It's an album
in
I've
2 years.
I listened to a bit of it just to see, but yeah, I don't know very much at all about this. So that's next. Charlie Dominici's 03.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. Anyway, Mike, before we see you off, you have anything you want to plug or you out there anywhere? Anything you want to promote?
All my socials are private.
Okay.
Got kids. Don't want to post those on the internet.
Fair enough. Anything cool that you want to shout out there on the internet?
No, my work is also pretty private. Can't talk about that.
All right. Well, anyway, but look out for Mike on future episodes of Mediamade.
You could maybe find my thesis if you want to read some more physics, science.
Yeah. What's that?
Mostly
What's that
math.
called?
What is it? I guess search Michael Wools on the archive. You'd probably find it. What is it? If I remember the title. Percolation on hyperbolic transitive graphs, I think is the title of my thesis.
Hey.
Yay.
What university is that?
UCR.
University of California, Riverside. Search Michael Wools. Try to find his Transistus thesis. That's the name of his album.
That's the name of
Transistus.
Percolation.
Transitive.
That's what you're trying to say.
Baryons. Trachyons.
There are none of those. It's mostly
Tachyons.
math.
I'm messing around. If you want to support our show, mediamade, you can follow us on Blue Sky at mediamade, or on Instagram at mediamade show. We do have a coffee, coffee.com, ko-fi.com/mediamade if you want to send us some money. Buy us a coffee with $5. As for me, you follow me on Blue Sky at Rod the Master, and I believe that's it. So, Mike, what are we closing out with? I don't know. You have a favorite track from Theory of Everything, or even something off that album that you want to close out with?
What's the uncertainty principle with all the random science?
Let's do it.
Words. I love that song.
Sounds good with me. So we're gonna close out with the uncertainty principle with all the science words, and we'll see you all next time with something. See ya.